Howdy, everyone. It's Team Master Nathan.
Paul, please wait 7.5 hours. I'm about to go to work.
Alright, everyone. Sorry, we were gonna do a stream today. But instead I'm going to sit here for 7.5 hours. Okay, I'm bored of that right now. How's everyone doing? It's Tuesday, I think. Days are hard. Yeah, welcome in. Come together to talk about your Centurion problem. There's no, I've not got that problem. Cursed, I think I'm translating that as. Thank you for becoming a member. And also I missed Lawmock. Thank you as well for becoming a member. Thank you. If you want to join them, sure. But help support the channel. Like Mermaida, hey, how's it going? 12 months, full year, get the good music. And Ivy with a resub. Remember. Thank you.
Hello, Governor.
Hello. Meow. Yeah, the actual music.
My dad saw you and immediately said magnets. Can I get a magnets in return, please?
Magnets. I think that works. Did I finish Sat 9 Centurions? I did, yes. The Sat 9s are done. We're going to move on to even more Centurions. So I basically need to build 12 Assault Centurions from regular Centurion boxes. I have three out of 4 boxes I need already in my house. But we're going to need a few more. These ones are usually... I think these ones are pretty fun to just do like as and when, or as you go through it. Follow the instruction book. Also, we don't need to do the Devastator part, which is fine. We just have to do the punchy part. I haven't built an Assault Centurion in about 3 years at this point. But I have built Assault Centurions as early as less than a year ago. So it's F-Zero X from Smash Brothers. Unfortunately, that's about as most people who see my F-Zero X Vanguard veterans only know Captain Falcon from Smash. Centurions are going to proxy as Devastators? Yeah, so they're going to be Devastators. I'll put I've got my 6 squad of the Ocarina of Time ones, and then the other Zelda ones will just go together. A bit of a mishmash, and then the Sat 9 is going to be the other 6 Devastators, and then I've got to build, 4 lots of 3. You see this 3 Lords of Skull video? I saw that it was a thing, I haven't watched it yet. How do I find the sound effect you use with the Screaming Ravens? Which one? Is it the, like, long scream? Like, the long high-pitched scream? The car bang fuck I'm dead? Or the other one? I use a few. Or just the generic bird call? There's many. Anyways, I haven't actually properly started on the images yet. I'm going to be doing that this week. This week is going to be a lot of various bits and bobs here and there. I might be doing the stream with the reveal stream this Friday, maybe. See how it goes. Yeah, Reese, do you know how big the cards have to be? Is there any generic size? I've got ideas. I just need to sort them out. Very much in that kind of... Oh yeah, I'll do that. Also, like the stream as we get to the actual time where I said I'd start the stream. Like the stream on YouTube. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Group chats. Yeah, I made a video on the gaming channel. If you don't know about the gaming channel, fine, I don't advertise it much. All is bad at games. I try to have sex with my wife, and I will explain no further. Hey, Deckman, how's it going? Hey, Carrot. No idea how big. I'm assuming there's like it's gonna be, like trading card size. How many guards will it take to slay 48 Centurions? Probably a lot. You've got tanks though, not as many. You airbrush your minis? Some of them, not often. I airbrush the undercoat. Superb tank mode. Thank you for subscribing to Prime. Did the comment left on last video? Probably yes. But I can't remember what it is. There's a lot of comments on that video. 48 Rogal Dawns is... I mean, I feel like six Centurions versus one Rogal Dawn is about fair. So I think I'm getting this hobby? No problem. Yeah, Leonard, which noise, Leonard? Because I can help you. It's either... Car bang fuck I'm dead is from The Crow. Got a refresher for you. Car bang fuck I'm dead. And the other one, which is the high pitched scream, is actually the classic Goofy yell, slowed down to about 15%. Crow one was the one I was looking for. There you go. We are watching Paul Bill Centurions. You are, yes. This one of the videos got you to Warhammer. Hey, awesome. Superb tank mode. Have you played any games, or are you still building up the army? Is your Death Watch veterans and company watch master? Hell yeah. I'm fine background music before I do his work myself. Nice. I gotta watch a GW preview stream. I don't know why it seems like they're watching your videos. I mean, I've not done a preview stream before. If I do watch this one and they actually like announce Primera Centurions, that would be the best time to. If they do that, I will never watch another preview stream, and that would just be the one preview stream that Paul is about to stuff watched is the one that introduced Centurions. The Gambit, very funny. And why even know more into AOS 8? Getting into any game. If it got you into the hobby and got you having fun, I don't care if it's Warhammer AOS or even if it's a different game entirely. Like I'm sure there's some people who went, oh, this 40k game sounds fun. Oh, it's not for me. Or they've gone into Kill Team, Old World AOS, or some other game. Helps a lot to understand what I want out of it from experience like that. Yeah, no problem. I feel like that prepping for the team event, and there's a lot of like free stuff that goes into that. Like you have a spreadsheet or a kind of matrix of how well you expect to do against certain armies, and I'm like, I don't understand how well I do against armies. I don't really know how they work. Or sorry, Siege Box. Oh yeah, the one with the Cataphractic Terminators. They're cool. I do like them. Are there any important transport options? Are there any transport options for Centurions? Yes. Storm Ravens could take 3. Repulsors can technically take 4, but obviously you wouldn't have a squad of 4, so 3 is the max there. Same with Land Raiders. You can get up to 5 in one of the Land Raiders, but again, you can't really have a squad of 5, so... any of the big tanks and the Storm Raven. Usually falls on the same day the first Twilight ended in months. Classic, yeah. Brisbane, hello, greetings from where I am. Thank you for enjoying the content. Why am I building more Centurions? I have to get to 36. And I have to build and paint them before the middle of March. Just discovered my bank card is missing by trying to get a membership number. You should probably find that. They're useful for exchanging money for goods and services. What do you think about the Orbital Assault detachment? I think it's a very fun detachment. It's not very good for Centurions. I might make a video on it, actually. It should be a quick video. It's like, hey, this is a thing. Doesn't work for Centurions, but it's cool. Specifically, it doesn't work for my style of Centurion. Orc Tyranid fan, but Centurions will always be a funny option. Exactly. Funny options are always the best options. But maybe there can be enough Centurions. 36 is enough, because currently that's the max you can take. You're at 12 now? Hell yeah. You have Tetris block lights? Years. Yeah, so yeah, you power them on and then you place them in whatever order. They work from that. Yeah, I've got those. Someone asked about animating, and I saw the question. I was like, oh, I'll answer that one. And then, what studio software do you use to animate you currently? So, if you're talking about on the stream, it's VTube Studio. Also mentions, if body big shoot, last kind of body small shoot missiles, if body not there, teleport. Exactly. I actually think mixed arms is my best matchup. Because if you skew too far one way or the other, half of my weapons don't really work. So ironically, a mixed arms guard army is actually one of my best matchups. If I can actually take out the tanks pretty quick. Then after that, like the guard troops don't do enough to Centurions, and they can just absolutely annihilate them. But I haven't played against the Grizzled Company or Grizzled whatever it is, because that one looks a bit scarier. Because they're more, the tanks can be more consistent in taking out Centurions. We immediately disqualify for using Centurions. Damn, GW hates me that much. Berry Tango's good. Dark Berry Tango was great, and they discontinued it. I'm very upset. As I'm sure everyone has a food out there or some sort of thing which has been discontinued that they loved, and it's not coming back. We wanted to get the membership here, Last Box Centurions. To be fair, I can afford the Last Box Centurions, I just haven't got it yet. I've non-paid related projects I'd like to share. Where in the Discord would you advertise with that? Probably still, if you're doing, it's probably still fine in work in progress or completed. I mean, that tab works for anything, even if it's not painting. People put drawings in there and stuff all the time. Right, shall we? What do you make this model for stream yourself? No, so I had a model that I tried making myself, but it turns out the way to make the models, I can't remember what program it is, but it's very complicated. So I actually messaged someone who makes VTuber models on Fiverr. The name is Izzy. I think in the YouTube, it might even be in the about page on Twitch, but it's definitely in the YouTube description. There should be a link to their work. I basically sent the message like, I've got this stupid idea, like Live 2D, yeah, something like that. And they were like, sure, I'll do it for like a quarter of the price because it's so silly. I'm like, alright, cool. I'm currently in contact for another very silly thing, which is back and forth. Fun. Haven't replied yet, but that's another thing. A lot of projects going on, which is why kind of the actual, I guess, video. Because I'm not planning to release a video this week, mostly just because I've got a lot of other stuff to do and I want to get that done, including like more streams. So what I'll probably do actually on Friday, if I don't release a video, I'll probably do the preview show. I need to double check with the woman that that's okay. Because I don't think we're doing anything Friday evening. If I'm... I know. Yeah, so there'll be lots of streams this week. Record our team's practice for camera rigs. If I had camera rigs, I do need a way of like getting, even if it's just time lapse, just so I remember to take photos. I'll probably involve the practice stuff when I talk about the team's event. I'm planning to do a video that is like encompasses both the team, what a team's event is, and how it went. Or maybe I'll separate them out. I don't know. Do you think they would release new or revamped Chaos models from the release of Red Courses? I assume so, but I don't know what they would, right? Blinky, thank you for becoming a member. I'm not so bad, I guess. Thank you very much. And also, the best part about going to the Teams event is basically all of you, like all of the rest of my team members, are way better at taking photos than I am, so at least I'll have a lot of pictures. Sure, there is literally a point where it's about 2 minutes in Centurions. Yes, it's over 36, and I'm not at that point yet. Why we're doing more. You love Centurions more than your wife? No. No. No, I do in fact love my wife. And if you go to the gaming channel, you can see me trying to make love to my wife. That's how I'm going to advertise. The Iron Queen. Thank you for becoming a member as well. Lots of members today. Thank you, thank you. Centurion Paul VTuber. I do have... I disabled the keybinds. But I don't... I do have a way of putting armor on, but I set the keybinds off because it was annoying trying to type. And Luke Harris, thank you for becoming a member as well. All these members. All these members, so little time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm new to Warhammer, interested in Stars of Suns. I wanted to use Vallejo color shift paint. Ooh. Wonder if I could use one of those makeup sponges to paint it. Color shift paint is I don't have Vallejo, but I do have. I have some Turbo Dork color shift. I don't know how it would work well with a sponge because you have to have a lot of layers of it for it to work. It works well in an airbrush. I think I put over. It's got to be completely black undercoat. And then I did, I think maybe 4 or 5 layers for my Storm Raven. I think if I had done one more, it would have really sold the effect. I think I didn't do enough. I assume you could do it with makeup sponges, but you would have to do quite a lot of layers. I don't know for sure, though. But color shift's cool as hell. Students and Legends, Paul would just run them as Iron Warriors Obliterators, probably. Or I would just, what I'll do is I will glue them together and turn them into knights. Got any experts for painting your first army? Don't worry about it. Just do it. The good thing about the internet right now, apart from all the shit, is you can get loads of information. Try and find like the beginner information, like just to kind of get the basics. Like Duncan Rose has some great tutorials. Don't be afraid of using contrast. Contrast is a great way to start. Love contrast paints. War Hipster is a great person to look at for contrast paints. I like the way War Hipster does his videos, is that he will do the first half is like, here's the basic stuff, and then he'll go, okay, now we'll do all the like insane shit at the end. So you could just get just like watch the first half, see what colors he uses, how he does it, and then you don't have to worry about the second half because that's far too good. But that's the way of doing it. Chrome paint. Oh, I've not tried chrome. Whereas it is a theft draw, yeah. Just get involved. And don't worry about how good or bad it is. Like, it's one of those ones where I think is trickier. Like, normally people go, oh yeah, if you want to get good at something like playing a musical instrument, right? Or even playing the game, you have to get the reps in. But the problem is obviously getting the reps in for something like Warhammer, where each model is quite expensive, is a bit trickier. So another thing you can do is either paint the sprues, just like the spare bits of sprue is always good to do to kind of get your hand in. Free minis from Warhammer shops if you have access to one. They do minis of the month, or you can get like a free starter mini to take away and just give it a go. You can always strip paint. Bit of a nightmare, but you can always strip paint, and don't go into insane. So I had to switch to YouTube. I didn't hear what you said. Rewind it like 30 seconds. All right, everyone be quiet. Let's give Oblivious to Oblivion. I'll give you a minute just to kind of scroll back, hear what I said, and then we'll carry on. In that time, everyone should hydrate and sit patiently and not say anything. If anyone types in chat, nothing happens. Just in Reddit, a coat of Imperial Fist contrast. Oh, I got orange. I got an orange in a weird way as well. I think it was something like, it was red and yellow as well. Like it was not, or it was orange base and then red and yellow on top of it to make it even more orange. The right of contrast to start at all. It could be easy reading full page. Oh yeah, yeah, Blackjack, absolutely for sure. Contrast. I think contrast is a great start. contrast paints have a what I would call a it has a low skill floor and high skill ceiling where it's good to start, like get your hand in, and then there'll be a middle area of skill where it doesn't really give you that much extra, and then at the end it'll do really well because you can use contrasts as washes if you do stuff. They're really good to blend together. You can do loads of really cool stuff with it, but they're good to start and they're good to like do proper stuff with, and then in the middle it's like you don't gain as much from it in that middle area. But it's really hard to get actual orange paint. Yeah, like they have some nice oranges, but they aren't like really deep oranges. Why are we queuing in online streams? Who's queuing up? Are we queuing? We should... That... Oh, man. That'd be a fun... Could I implement a queue in my stream? I don't know. Sweet Silver, thank you for the £2.
Building Centurions with few brain cells are possible.
This is low brain cell percent for building Centurions. Thank you for the super chat. I'm making Noise Marine and Terminator Renegade Army. Hell yeah. You know any good uses for this Horizon Blue paint? I don't know what that is, so. Yeah, contrast is good for speed as well, I find. I'm local to Winchester. Am I able to go and spectate the Winchester events? I don't think anyone's going to stop you. Obviously, don't like games or anything, but you come hang out. I think people do it all the time. Or sign up and come play. There are a few tickets still available for the next Winchester GG. Charge a ticket. Oh yeah, I charge you to watch the stream. I mean, technically, there is members only streams as an option, right? The Martin as a beginner tool. Using contrast on Marines is awful. I don't mind contrast on Marines, actually. The shoulders is probably the worst place for them, but everything else isn't too bad. Favorite Horde army? I guess Squigs and Age of Sigmar. Because they're fun. Kuzan, thank you for subscribing to Prime. I will say, actually, the one even if you do not like contrast paints, so you hate contrast paints, the one contrast paint you should get is Black Legion. I think Black Legion. That is the one. What I use all the time. Black Legion contrast paint is absolutely fantastic. It is the best black, like coverage wise, compared to even regular paints. It's so goddamn good. Like, I would highly, highly recommend getting Black Legion contrast paint just because it's so goddamn good. First tournament in the year got cancelled because of snow. Oh, man, that sucks. Fortunately, we've had our snow. Reese says, yes, you can spectate at Winchester. Yes, you can. There you go. So come hang out. It's at the Badger Farm, Sainsbury's. Obviously, don't like everyone go and invade and be like, "Where's Paul?" You know, there's plenty of time between rounds anyway, but it's a lot of fun. And people, generally, I don't think people mind you just kind of like hovering around the table, just to kind of watch as long as you're not like in the way. Most people aren't really, so. Rattling Grime I like as well. I've used that before. What's the one? Pilar Glacier is great as well. And Skeleton Horde is fantastic. Just painted, so I think it's a bit off. That's fair enough. Hey, you got something to work towards. We were all waiting for this guy to catch up with stream, so we were queuing, waiting for it to come back. Oh no, right, yeah, that's fair. Wasn't really so much a queue. We were all just kind of like, it was less of a queue and more all of us just like, essentially cowering and just like leaning over this one person, waiting for them to watch it, and we all like impatiently just like hovering above them in kind of a weird way. That's what we do here. Any advice like sawing off parts of figures to attach other pieces? Hit bash stuff? I have a Hellblade saw that I need to use at some point. Most of the time it's not too bad. You just kind of go for it. Then you're good. Grey Knight, Dreadnoughts close to Centurions. The Dreadnoughts are a bit bigger. Remind me of mech suits and Matrix, that's close enough. I mean, they're close enough in terms of like suit within suit, right? Make a Black Legion army, and I don't know, but I found Black Templar contrast paint instead of Legion. That's fair. I think the black. I guess if you're doing the full armor Black Legion contrast paint, it is very dark, so you do want a bit more towards a bit lighter if you're doing that as the main armor. But I found it to be pretty good. Pressing against the doors of the hall. Just like, yeah, let us in. Snake white leather is fantastic as well. There's another brown. Snake white leather. Yeah, snake white leather is what I'm thinking of. Fire Slayer flesh is good. Leather's good. What's the darker brown? Oh, the other paint that I highly recommend is it's a shade. Drakenhoth Nightshade is fantastic as well. Love. I use Drakenhoth Nightshade basically instead of normally in a lot of places now. It just has a nice like little blue sheen to it. I'm playing my friend who's on Raymond Guard. I'm T-Suns. Sort of plays both. What would be your advice for T-Suns? Depends what he has on the list. Be very afraid of his shooting, basically. If he gets all of the buffs off, he can really hurt. And they're not slouches in melee either. Just try and take out the... just gotta kind of play around him. It depends what you have, right? 1,000 points is a bit more difficult. Also, I've not beaten T-Suns before, so probably ignore me. Can you use any guys from the subs of GH40k? Yeah. You have to use the specific detachment that allows you to use Scintillating Legion. You can also just use Tzeentch Demons as an army in itself. Right, especially post you made yesterday for a video. Yeah, for a future video. I don't know what I'm going to do with it because it wasn't exactly what I got a lot more comments than I thought. So I need to work out what I'm going to do with it. It'll be a future video at some point. We're hitting it on Legion Imperialis. Very small. Did you enjoy trying to get through that brick that is Gaz? The Gaz brick, when I did play against it, actually wasn't that bad. Because I managed to just hold off its main problem. My problem was in that game the dice. The dice were horrendous. I felt that was a game where I'm just like, for God's sake. I'm glad it was one of those ones I like. I'm glad I make content so I can turn this into a funny story. Otherwise, it's just a miserable experience, and I hate everything. Helldrakes are... Well, Helldrakes aren't that optimal in 40k as far as I know, but they are cool as hell. And I'm sure you could probably do something with them. But yeah, if you're just getting into 40k, don't buy a Helldrake, because they are horrible. They're very difficult to play, or very good to build, very difficult to paint, and very difficult to play. But they look cool as hell. So if you want that to be like your magnum opus, I would recommend it. Yeah, that was at a tournament. It was at the London GT. Would you say that Devastators and/or Assault Centurions are viable for 1k? Both, I think. If you again, any unit is viable if you work around it. I think a big brick of 6 Devastators at 1,000 points is kind of nasty. Just because one problem is it takes up a lot of your points, but if you're in something like Talon and you can start jumping them around, they are insane. 36 Helldrakes. How many Helldrakes? I guess 3 is the max Helldrakes, right? You can't do more than 3. Yeah, not to be like, Helldrakes. It is a warning. Helldrakes are very, very difficult across all of it, but they are cool as hell. I kind of remember fun only. I think with like, I think stompers are potentially viable if you set them up right. I think because stompers are relatively scary. I think. I reckon you could do work with a stomper. I think the thing is, it's the people who probably have the skill to use a stomper are just gonna go with an easier choice, and the people who want to make it work might not have the skill or the game knowledge to make it work. But I think bringing a stomper just is cool. How do I get over this moral dilemma? Just put one Catan on and just make it the Nightbringer. It is cool. I bet I have enough time to paint stuff one. That is... Yeah. It is the... You can either have time, money, or something else. There's like a trio, and you can only pick two. You can have time and money, but no... But nothing to spend it on, I guess? I don't know. I don't know how it works. What is building Centurions? Yes, at some point I will actually flip over to spend... energy, I guess, is the one, yeah. Does an airbrush save time? Not... Depends. On vehicles, probably. It saves time if you are in a place where going outside to use spray paint is trickier. But otherwise... And it has... And you can do some cool effects with it. Time, money, sleep. That's probably it. Yeah, time, money, energy is probably the three. You have the time and money, but you never sleep, so you're tired constantly. Or you can have money and energy, but no time. Or you can have time and energy, but no money. Oh, heck. Good grief. It's Paul. It's me. Right. Desk. Hands. I also, just for a test, it might not work, because I think the heads on the Centurions are slightly bigger. I did grab some Saturnine heads, briefly. So I've got them just in case we need them. Ta-da! A little bag. Good with everyone's favourite sweet. Faces. Balthazet, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. And Anon Shah. Thank you for becoming a member as well. Thank you. Any plans to get into Age of Sigmar? I do have Age of Sigmar armies. I just haven't got time to play it and learn the rules. About the camera. I did, yeah. Fortunately, this instruction booklet fits and also doesn't press a bunch of buttons on my keyboard because it's so heavy, so it helps white balance slightly. Probably seen these structures. I do this so infrequently that I don't need. I still need structures. Also, I always have these structures just for safety, because you never know what you might do wrong. I haven't built one of these in a while, and I'm also very stupid. I'm pretty sure it's just like one per. I should also get my tools. Kind of need to build a thing. Turns out, to build Warhammer, you do need some equipment, including a knife, which I'll try not to stab myself with this time. It might not show up on camera. See that little... Oh, that little mark there. That very tiny mark there. That was where I stabbed myself. On Actually 40k. I have started playing Hollow Knight. This is my third attempt, but I'm finally getting into it properly. And it's a lot of fun. Pleasure of paints in front of me for full paint scheme for some minis. Hell yeah. First time airbrush user. My best bit of advice is you're just gonna have to go for it. Again, don't do what I do. Don't test it on paper, because paper obviously reacts differently to plastic. Try it on like a spare bit of sprue or something, just to kind of get the feel. It's actually not too bad to get a hold of. And the main thing I would say is, if you're going to, like, the main bit of advice I can give is when so you've done a bit of spraying, you've done your airbrushing. Before you start the next bit, do a quick pull to get any remaining drops out, because otherwise your first pull on your model will have a few splats, and then it'll do it. Which isn't too bad to fix, but it is just something you need to kind of get into the rhythm of doing. Right, I'm fidgeting. As you see, I like to fidget. This is all I do on a daily basis. I just fidget. I'm a fidgeter. I'm a habitual fidgeter. And I'm just yapping. I'm just yapping random bullshit. So I should probably... So I've also moved the light so I can see the text better. I've made it so my chair doesn't lean back as much. Like, I've got my chair fixed so the model shouldn't break as much, although it probably breaks if I go down here. And yeah. Right. Stop. We need some things. We need 23, 24, 25, 27, 28. Got that one. Hunter All of the Raven, thank you for one. It's not that one. It's gonna be the last one, isn't it? Remember, I guess the main thing I'm gonna have 12 of these. Oh my god. Right. 31, 32. Those are fairly generic. Sorry, 30, 31. I can't even read. Can't even read properly, chat. Blood Angels, Rage of Onslaught, 30 Death Company with leaders. Hell yeah. That sounds fun. What are your thoughts on how good or bad this kit is at building tomorrow? Hell yeah, I will let you know. I built this enough to know that the worst part is the cables. The legs are absolutely fine. The best part about building this is, like, right, you can see here. If I actually put it on the screen. Look, you might not be able to see it properly, but the bloody great big mold line that goes right down here. You don't have to care about it because the these bits of the leg here go over it, so you never see it. So I will say the one great thing about this kit is GW did a fantastic job with like making it so wherever the mold lines are, they're always hidden. It's really, really quite nice. But the cables are a bit of a nightmare. What's a good paint to highlight black with? Any of the greys, really. I like starting with Eshin Grey and going to Mechanica Standard, but you can go kind of the Fimrisian Grey route as well, is quite nice. Yep, and then I need 29, 32, 33. Now, I believe the bits where it's like 32, 33, I believe they're actually completely generic sidewise. I don't think it matters which way around these go. It seems to suggest that there is a difference, but I've never been able to see it. I'm gonna check that before I... Yeah, they're the same. And 29 is the last piece we need for this first step. Oh, Cassie Dragon, thank you for becoming a member. You've paid your tithe. Can you be released from mod jail? Nope. Unfortunately, once you have become a mod, you're in mod jail forever. That is voluntary. I mean, you can leave anytime you want. Or you can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. Try and actually keep this somewhat on camera today. You see here, they got this mold line there, but it's on the flat bit. Oh. I've immediately taken it off frame. You're gonna have to deal with that. I should just put something more interesting on screen. I mean, the other option is putting my camera in a position where it's actually where my hands are, but that's hard to put in a place where you can't, like... Most of the positions which that works for also just point directly at my crotch. And we're not at that level. I'm not at that level of desperation in my YouTube career yet that I need to go down the sex sells route. Saying that, though, if I just get a big bitty VTuber model, that probably would be funny. Not yet, no. At some point, I'm sure I'll be desperate enough to go to, you know, crotch cam time. Any concerns about Centurions gets Legends at 11th? Not really. I honestly don't think they will. I feel like they fill a niche that no other model does, and the only reason I think they would get Legends, quote unquote, is because they release an upgraded version. You can still use the old model. But it's not like a... It's not like the you know, the bikers went to Legends because Outriders were a thing, because there's no point kind of sustaining two like versions of the same thing. And I feel like that's going to be... I feel like there's no reason to Legends Centurions, because it's not like they're a model that they don't sell anymore. It's not like... If they were made of resin, one, I would fucking hate them and I'd never use them. But two, that would probably be more of a reason to send them away. But I feel like they just have such a different vibe compared to anything else that I don't see it happening. I don't think whether they nerf it or buff it. I think the people who decide what goes to Legends are different to balance the game, right? So I think they will what they might do that might be a problem is they might make it a more a keyword that comes up a lot more. Because a lot of the times, anytime you have a problem, it's like, oh, this can be done on inventory. Centurions usually cause a problem. Your family's worried about me. My family's always worried about me. That's kind of what family does, right? The whole point of family is just worry constantly. Right, there's usually a best practice order to do this in. Usually I think it's that first. Get those bits on, then the front, then the feet. Usually the order I do it in. I might be like, by the way, if you haven't seen the Centurion before, like being built, this is the foot of the Marine actually inside the suit. You actually build up the bits inside as well, which is cool. I've noticed a mold line, but I think that mold line gets covered anyway. I'm far too lazy to fix. I am inherently bone idle. Which weapons are you using? I think this is actually the real question here. Do I go? So I'm gonna build at least at least 3 of these are gonna be with melters 3 with flamers, so I can buff up my current 3 melter 3 flamer guys. So I'll have 1 squad with melter, 1 squad with flamer, and then a 3rd squad. I don't know whether that 3rd squad should be melters or flamers. I don't know what my ratio should be. I don't know if I want to go with... It's either going to be 2 squads with melter, 1 squad with flamer, or... Yeah, 2 squads with melter, 1 with flamer, or 1 with melter, 2. I think 2 with melter is probably better, because I think that gives... Because they all have bolters anyway. I think that just gives them a bit more chance of targets. But I am legitimately unsure. Because these will be assaults. All of my Devastators all have the same. That's nice and easy. All lives matter. Only matter if you want your game pieces to look like game pieces. Yeah, but the other thing is, the mold line that I saw It's like back there. I kind of clean that up, and I probably will. But also it's right at the back when I was. These drills are actually fine to paint. You literally just paint the bits there. You just paint that silver, and then it's done. Then you just put blood on it or something. After building these, I'll be up to this will be 25, 26, 27. Yeah, then I'll have 9 more. You choose where to Overwatch. Yeah, Overwatch is an interesting one. The thing is, I don't think I'll have the I really don't think I'll have the command points to be overwatching so frivolously. And I feel like having Centurions that can come down and melt or something and then punch it might be better. Because the missiles do such work otherwise. I'm probably am going to go with Gladius. I was really annoying bit, but that's not too bad. Those bits. But I don't know. Like, the other option was the Salamanders one, which also works to just be constantly able to advance and shoot. But I feel like Gladius might also be useful. Those are my 2 options at the moment. What I might do at some point, I might chat with like people I know who are good at the game and be like, what would you recommend? Try and get some information, but no. I don't think Centurions can go in Rhinos. I mean, they can go in Repulsors, which can do the same thing. But the problem is the way I play, 18 Centurions just works better in Shadowmount Talon, and 36 Centurions you don't have room for. People are good at the game. Apparently I do. I don't know who though. Really, so you have one Overwatch threat. They can avoid it. It's a lot harder with 2. The thing is, I will have like obviously Flamers Overwatch is very much a kind of standard thing you should try and avoid, right? Is this the right ones? Yeah, 34. However, Devastator Centurion Overwatch is actually more terrifying. Because Flamer Overwatch only really works well if it's either a target that it's good against, or you're going for the thing with Oath of Moment on it. If something is on an objective, if it starts or ends a move on an objective within 24 inches of any Devastated Centurion squad, they're fucked. That's because you get full hit rerolls firing against something on a objective, because it doesn't say during your shooting phase, it just says when you make a shooting attack. So you can get full hit rerolls with Overwatch on anything on an objective within 24, which means your las cannons are more likely to hit, and you can get a ton of shots off with the missiles as well. Whereas you could deep strike a Land Raider full of Centurions with new detachment. Yes, I like the new detachment. I think it's better to do. The reason I say it's better to do anything else than use Centurions is because it allows you to do sillier stuff. It allows you to deep strike Land Raiders just at all, which I think would be something. I reckon you go 3 Land Raiders as your main bulk, like 3 Land Raider Redeemers. Drop it down, flamer the absolute shit out of everything, and just park them, and just be like, your move. I feel like with that detachment, Centurions is... Well, yeah, Centurions is the least of your worries. Like, imagine dropping a Land Raider just like slap bang in the middle of the board. And being like, alright, deal with this, fuckers. How I feel. We have 500 points for it. So you can get... so there's a way to redeploy. within that thing. So you could basically just you deploy them normally, and then at the start of the game, just take them all up, and it doesn't matter about the reserve limit. 41. 41. And that's why I think that detachment is probably one of the better ones that they released, because it's so silly. And I think there'll be some absolute jank with it. The other one. Or being blind. Blind, there it is. And we love jank. If there's one thing we love in this house, it's jank. The attachment on Qatar reworks. I made we did a stream last week, which is on the VOD channel. But my thoughts are the destroyed attachment's cool as hell. The new character is cool as hell. Destroyers are cool as hell. The Katans are cool as hell. It's cool as hell. I did manage to pick up. I actually got 2 of the new 500 Worlds boxes for Necrons and the Necrosaur, the dinosaur. So I'm very happy about that. So they'll be coming at some point for a new army. The works. Sure, I'll be make streams of, because I'm enjoying these streams. If you're enjoying these streams, good. And if you really enjoy these streams, give me all of your money. And if you don't like these streams, but you're here anyway, I'm sure that you can do better things than kind of hate watch stuff. I don't know. But maybe you're not like, maybe if you're neutral about it, do literally nothing different. Those are all the options. I hope you enjoy whatever option you decide in the end. Whichever option is right for you. Then something. Remember, is there going to be an AdMech box, which is 1 Dune Crawler, 1 Tank, 1 Walker? You mean the Dune Crawler with the legs? I actually need those legs. For another project. Too many projects. Too many projects. Got some Celestial Grey paint on my hands. Indistinguishable blue veins on my skin. Ooh. Celestial Grey is good grey. I like Celestial Grey. Alright. Cheers, Astra. Have a good rest of your day. Physically speaking, an average human has less than 2 legs. Correct. Now you have, likely you right there, have an above average number of arms, legs, eyes, teeth, fingers, toes. And probably a below average number of heads. Thank you,
Hi Paul. I have my first game of Knights vs Chaos Knights tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Any advice for killing the walking abominations of chaos?
Thank you for the $5 super chat. WO21, which is... Fortunately, I can't pronounce that. Any advice? Basically, the way you want that that matchup to work is you say to your opponent, hey, you want to just do like we'll just run at each other and punch each other in the face until one of us falls over, and they go, hell yeah. And then you basically just have a knight versus knight wrestling match. And then once they agree, and they're like, okay, I'm going to run in and we're going to punch each other, then you shoot them. And be like, well, you know, you shouldn't have... Chaos Filth or something. And then you never have to play them again. And then there's Arms Joe. But I guess it depends what you mean by how many arms you have. Because if you're talking about arms on your actual body, yeah. But otherwise, if you someone could be just kind of going around stealing arms. You know, like an arms dealer. But oh brother, this guy stinks. Number 2. This one's a bit slightly more annoying. You have to put the legs together. Blue is blood. There you go. You have to be careful eating opponent's models. They might be using toxic paints. True. You gotta, you gotta make sure that if you're eating your opponent's model, they're ethically sourced models. Think about Harlequin armies. I think Harlequins are cool, but they're an army that I don't really want to collect because, God, that looks like a nightmare. Obviously, you don't have to paint the motley or the diamond patterns or anything. It feels like it's not as cool. There's also not that many models, right? But that's not too much. I could always use some of it in like a Druid. A little bit impatient. I'll be a bit more patient with the legs now. I am kind of causing a few issues. Let them dry for a sec. What's chat doing? Has anyone told you have dainty soft hands of a lady? Thanks. No one's told me that recently, no. You gonna go to London Super Major again this year? Probably. I did enjoy the London GC. I'll probably go again. Any opinion on Luminous Realm Lords? They seem cool. Am I getting good at building Centurions? It's about as good as you can get. But magnetize for Centurions, I don't know. There's not really worth it. There's not really a good place to magnetize them, I don't think. I'm sure there is, but I haven't found it. You know, iron hands makes it very difficult to paint if you have iron hands. They seem alright. I don't know too much about iron hands. I just have feels redundant when you have 36 of them. Exactly right, like, doesn't really matter. Like, I don't think I'm going to be in a position where I'm just not going to bother using las cannons, right? Hey, I don't call myself the Magnet Wizard. The Magnet Wizard is the Magnet Wizard. I am merely the Magnet Wizard's messenger. To deliver the word of magnets to the people. Hey, Spruce Drop House again. Did you get the VOD? Potentially. It's I can send you it. It is gonna be it's a big file. They're like 10 plus gig. So I'll have to send it to you. You download it, then I have to delete it off Google Drive because otherwise they'll take too much space. I've already uploaded one because I sent one of them to Lennon. But I can't send you them. And it'll be better quality as well. If you do want them, I can. I might not be able to do it for every single one. I can certainly do it for some. But the other option is I could, like, just locally cut some guff. Harbinger of magnets, exactly. I'm merely the conduit through which the Magnet Wizard makes his presence known. Rather than today they are legends. I mean, as long as you're not going to tournament, you can still run it. Also, just run it as a something else. Run it as a box or something. Recently got into painting 40k, 1,200 points to Space Marines. Hell yeah. What would be your advice for someone who typically paints in sub-assembly to moving into painting fully built models? I mean, you don't have to. Like, if you like building a sub-assembly, then continue painting in sub-assembly. No reason. I don't know what reason you would have to change that. I guess if you have a reason that you want to go into painting full models, then that's fine. But I don't feel like you necessarily need to suddenly, like, change the way you've been painting. Recently turned to mini painting Twitch and was wondering if anyone was here about 5-7 years ago remembers an English guy with a Tyranid themed stream. Another guy who had a Rustler's Burger themed emotes. There were a few people, like, I remember, because my mate Steve was streaming around like that many years ago. I don't know. Honest. Hey, Martin, done. How's it going? I'm sure you could. What size is a Leviathan Dreadnought? I'm sure you could use it as something else. I'm sure no one would mind if you used it as like a box knot. Ogie, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Heat on. I guess the question is, now that I'm kind of building these, how fast do I build these? And do I have enough time? There are things I could be doing that is going to make this more efficient, right? I could be cutting out the next one while that dries. But I'm inherently lazy. Yeah, no, it's fists. They're not too bad, to be fair. Like, if I can build a box in a day, that's good. And an 80mm base? Oh, it's also Chaos. Oh yeah, because Hellbrutes are... Could you just stick it on a smaller base? Like Hellbrute versus Leviathan? I don't know. I guess like you could Brute Chopper. I know people. There's what's his name now? There's some people who've been streaming for a long time that might still be somewhat active that might be able to help you. Brannigan's Brushes is someone from that time, I think. I don't think they don't stream anymore, but Alchemist Models on YouTube around that time as well. There's a few. Biggest issue is paint sub assembly getting paint on the connecting joints. That's fair. I guess if you do, you just have to use super glue instead of plastic glue, right? I mean, the main thing. Let's see if it was true. It is true. Your base size gets changed. That has happened before. It's not too much of an issue because usually the bases get bigger because the models that kind of get replaced get bigger. So you basically just get to the new version of the base to stick the old one on top and then just put some like fun stuff around it. Yeah. Right. Let me add legs. This is also one of the other bits that kind of gets a bit annoying, because sometimes this doesn't quite... It's either a bit loose or a bit tight. That one's fine. A little bit. Also, it's right at the back anyway, so... Yes. Have you had a Scotch egg with black pudding in the middle instead of an egg? No. I was thinking you were going to say black pudding instead of the sausage. But that, instead of an egg, is interesting. Also, Centurions, I love them. I understand you now. Thank you. See, another convert. I do wonder. I am very curious about if I have actually made a difference to Centurion cells. I probably haven't. It's probably been more of a difference in Centurion cells for like when they're good. But I don't know if I've actually made a tangible difference. I might have done. Cool if I have. Very funny. More legs. Still the common way people play 40k. I think it's just one of those ones where, for me, tournaments isn't really about competitiveness. It's just about being able to get games in. Thing is, I think most people who buy models probably don't even play the game at all. I think the people who play tournaments, just based on pure like numbers, right? Like, there's no way to fake the fact that if I'm playing a tournament every month, that's 5 games, or 3 or 5 games that I probably aren't getting elsewhere. You see what I mean? So the kind of average number of games that I play goes up because of events. But it means that the person who plays like one game, there's people out there who play like maybe one game a month. And there's a lot of those people out there who play that one game a month, never go to tournament. Compared to people who go to tournaments where they're playing many, many games. But there's fewer of them. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, put it this way, like, if me and another person, if the other person plays, if there's 5 people who play one game a month, and I go to one tournament a month, I play 5 games, that's the same number of games being played across those 2 types of people, right? You think of something like the London GT had 1,000 people, right? That's 1,000 people playing 5. That's 5,000 games. Not technically, because obviously 2 people are playing the same game. There's maths there, but it's 1,000 people will report that they played 5 games, on average. So that's 5,000 games. There are probably also then 5,000 people who played 1 game, right? So Yeah, I've never had any issue at any event. I've met a lot of lovely people. A lot of fun. It's just a different way of playing. But I think the reason that there is kind of that animosity against tournament players is you say you play a game like 1 or 2 games a week. You probably play it with either friends or in a club, right? And you have like the way the people you play with have an expectation. So when someone with a different expectation comes into your game and your group, that's where the sticky problem is, right? Then you're going against people who you don't have the same attitude with. You're gonna have a problem with them. Obviously, if you're a tournament goer, you're going into the tournament with a different attitude, so you're not going to have that immediate conflict, right? It's just there's no right or wrong answer, right? But yeah, it's one of those ones where I think it's a case of it's not usually fair to give it have everyone the same brush. A lot of the times it's just a context thing. Got a bad experience, maybe that's one too many. I think the thing is with I've not had any bad experiences at a tournament. But I've had 45 games. But again, there's no guarantee that if I played 1 or 2 games against random people at LG, like a local game store, I'm not gonna get a bad experience, right? Because it's the reason bad experiences happen is not because of the type of player you are. It's just because of usually it's because of a personality clash. Or if you have a bad experience, it's against someone who's a knobhead. And the thing about knobheads is they're a knobhead regardless. Them being a tournament player doesn't make them a knobhead. They're a knobhead regardless. They could be a knobhead narrative player. Like some of the comments I got about my 11th edition thing, there's some really just like nasty comments from people who are like, absolutely against tournament play or like competitive play at all. And it's like, well, I kind of don't want to play against you because you sound, obviously it's the internet, right? You sound miserable, so I don't want to play against you. And that has nothing to do with them being a competitive player or not. It just sounds like they're a knobhead. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. If you have a group of people you play with, and that's your fun, that's the way you play, that's absolutely fine. I think the point is, it's not fair to be like, anyone outside of the group is bad, or a problem. Like, they don't really affect the way you play. I've never seen a negative pull comment. I mean, that's because I usually delete them. One of those ones where I think the problem is if you're an aspiring YouTuber, first of all, good fucking luck. But second of all, if people are negative, there's this kind of like, some people will suggest like, oh, it's just engagement. You should like, reply to them, be funny with them, like comedians with hecklers. But there's no point. The problem is that just breeds more people to be negative. If people see negative comments, they are more likely to be negative. And it's a lot easier just to be like, no, I don't want you around the community, leave, and then you just never hear from them, and then that improves the entire community. Which is why I kind of am very much like kind of person who goes, don't paint everyone the same brush. If tournament play is not for you, that's absolutely fine. But that doesn't mean that, tournament players are the devil, right? I mean, maybe we are all the devil. Yeah. I am. Like I've said in previous streams, this is all an act. When I go to, and I'm sure people who've played against me could attest. Like during the game and stuff, I'm all nice and friendly, but as soon as the game ends, I'm like, right, now fuck off. Leave me to my business. Get out of my goddamn sight. The game's over. I've been polite. Leave. And then I literally send them away. Like if it's my first game, I make them leave the tournament. And if they return, I scream at them until they leave. It's weird. Not players, not equal players. I think what you're basically saying is like they're kind of a hyper competitive player, right? But again, that's just kind of like knobhead. So I would say, like, for me, 100% of the people I've played against have been absolutely lovely people. But it's that kind of hyper-competitive person that's going to be, you know, not bad about everything. Nothing wrong with again, yeah. Like, I've played against some of the best players in the world. Ben Jones I've played against. Obviously, he is hyper-competitive. You know, he wins a lot. He's very good at the game. He spends a lot of time practicing, making good lists, doing all that. Wonderfully nice guy. Super nice guy. Super great opponent. Really, like, just cool guy. Not, you know... But there's also going to be people who are... I think the generic kind of... Or what I guess the stereotype is the mid-table person, right? The mid-table warrior who thinks they're better than they are. It's always someone who thinks they're better than they are. This happened in League of Legends as well. If you play any sort of game like League of Legends or anything, or like Dota or any MOBA or any like competitive shooter, 99% of the time, the person who is whining and complaining the loudest is the worst player on the team. Because they can't accept... It's people who can't accept blame. You know, people who can't... just can't accept that the reason that they are having a problem is because of their own skill. And so they always lash outwardly. But I think, and the more and more that tournaments get bigger, especially in 40k, I think the explosion of 9th and 10th has done wonders for the competitive scene, tournament play, because that has started, like, it's diluted those kind of like bad players with a lot of people who just want to go there and have fun, and it kind of that dilutes the whole thing. Like esports, for some reason, added competitive ranks to video games makes it more toxic. Oh, 100%. Especially for team games where you can, if a teammate is doing badly, you can blame them, but it's like dice rolls. Like, you can't blame the dice, because it stops you from improving. But that's just an attitude problem, right? And the thing is, I don't like when I played League, like ranked was not fun, unless it was like ranked 5s or whatever. That was all right, but ranked is not fun. Skillshare, thank you for the.
Don't remember who it was, but I remember hearing someone say it's always the person who goes 3-3 is that guy, and the 0 to 6 and 6 to 0 are chill.
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you for the super chat. I think that's even that's becoming less and less. I think it was because the group of let me glue something, and then while it dries, I can talk. Otherwise, I'm gonna be wasting time. It's the because the number of players going to tournaments has massively increased. So it used to be much even it's still niche now, but it used to be even more niche. And so within that niche group, you didn't have that many people, and so you were more likely to find those like hyper-competitive, like mid-table people who think they're better than they are because they congregated there. But because so many new players have come in, and that's less and less acceptable, that's diluted it massively, and those people are starting to leave. You know, those people are being, you know, pushed out of the thing, right? Like in game culture, people often tend to frame this conflict between casuals to hardcore players like it's a huge thing. That's exactly... Again, this is definitely the internet as well. Like, the internet... With the internet, because it is a... It's hard to have a conversation over the internet without tone, right? Because you... Having a conversation like this where I'm speaking, my tone is clearly like, no, friendly. I'm not like, this is fucking stupid. You know... When you just see like just generic text, it's hard, and it's something that disagrees with you. It's hard to like consider that as a conversation, and then when you reply and then the aggression kind of spirals. See what I mean? Oh my god, it's you. I've been binge watching your videos. Thank you very much. And obviously, then it's if you think that the amount of people who play Warhammer is niche, the amount of people who then comment on places like Reddit is even more niche. And so you get only the extremes, and they're usually a minority. And I think it's just a case of like when you're actually at a game playing with someone, at the end of the day, you just look at them as they are just a person like you, and you just want to have fun and hang out. That's the thing. We need to make Tony indicate common in social. We need to. What's the race from Mass Effect? That's what we need to start implementing. Like, no, Casual and jovial. I'm glass in your sock? Why? Damn. Elcor, that's the one. I'm always that guy. I've been that guy forever. Piece by piece trying. For this bit, it's not too bad because it's very easy to find the right orientation for these pieces. It's not too bad. But yeah, I don't mind competitive stuff. I think the other thing is obviously because the internet allows so much information sharing so quickly. That's where stuff like the meta forms. So I think I was speaking to someone about this recently. Like, what was it? Yeah, it's the information spread so fast, and I think the example I used was World of Warcraft, vanilla World of Warcraft versus World of Warcraft Classic, where vanilla World of Warcraft was great because there was very little information out there. If you wanted information, you had to go to like Thoughtbot, but people weren't like really in the weeds of like some people were like trying to do stuff like in terms of like best in slot and that kind of thing, but it was still a bit of a wild west. And then WoW Classic came along, and everyone hit level 16 like immediately, and the raid was beaten in an hour. That took when it was a vanilla, it took like a month. Took them an hour. Everyone's getting boost farmed with mages, like it because people could coordinate so much better. That I think is why a game like 40k has gone the way it has. Because even if they let's say they went, okay, we're going to release 4th edition again as like a classic Warhammer. We're doing 4th edition. The problem is there's so much more information, so much access to information that it's going to be a lot easier to play that game and find the weird stuff. I played 40k since 5th edition, and you actually got me to get back into it. Hell yeah! Go through TTS now. Hey, welcome back in. Mr. Man is really good at gum wielding. I wouldn't say really good. In fact, I wouldn't say I was good at all. I was bad. Because I haven't built one in ages. Yeah, I think, like... The thing is, I think stuff like the meta is really interesting, right? And that's why, kind of, with my videos, I do want to encourage people to just try stuff, because at the end of the day, it's not too bad. There's a very classic story in League of Legends. It's years and years ago, which I always find very funny. It's very telling. Is that there was a patch where I believe it was the character Vladimir, and in the patch it said Vladimir has been nerfed this much, and his win rate went down. And people were like, oh yeah, he's garbage now. Except there was a bug, and the patch for him never went through. So he was exactly the same strength as he was before. But just the perception of his strength caused his win rate to fall. Even though it wasn't actually numerically different at all, or different in any way. Just the general perception caused the problem. And I think that's probably a very similar thing with when you see stuff about certain... We talked about the Helldrake earlier, right? The general consensus is the Helldrake is bad. But I bet as soon as you see a winning list with a Helldrake, they'll come back. And Centurions are exactly the same. Centurions are a great example of this, because obviously everyone used them when Uriel Ventress could make them deep strike. And then that was removed and the points were buffed. Then no one used Centurions anymore. But I kept using them because I was like, you could just bring them on at the edge and they're still just as good. And then Shadow Arc Talon comes around and everyone goes, oh yeah, you could just bring them on the edge and they're still good. Like, nothing changed. But it was just that perception of it. And I feel like that is a thing where I'd like to see more. I'd like to see people just be like, I'm going to play what I want and make... Rather than it just being, I want to play what I want, therefore they should make it strong. You should be able to, and I'm trying to, fun to do, have a silly game plan and make it work. That's the difference. And again, the other part of this is you're comparing the top players who are like, oh yeah, the art of war tier list says that this chapter or this army is bad. But they're the top players. For 99% of the people, there's fundamental things you're doing in the game that doesn't matter what army you're playing. You could probably win with any army depending on how skilled you are. So, doesn't matter. Hang on, Sagittal, what's it? Lost Scout, and then a tournament player won with 6 Sagittals. Yeah, I think there was a classic one with Imperial Guard where people were like Imperial Guard is bad, and the guy went, no, they're not, and just won a tournament with Imperial Guard. I think his video on something was just called like "Told You So," and it's like, yeah, like I'm not obviously a very good player. There's lots of stuff I can do to improve my game, but I still have decent success with 18 Centurions to have for a while because it's my army, and I'm like, that's how I'm kind of building my own playstyle, and I'm enjoying it, and that makes the game fun for me. And that, I always call it a puzzle, because it basically is. Like, that puzzle is why I kind of enjoy 40k. I didn't do these bits. Obviously, you know, and some people enjoy it for the narrative elements, some people enjoy it for this and the other. The reason I enjoy the game is because the game is quite fun, and being able to have this fun puzzle. And the other reason I think 40k is fun is very, very simple, is that it's just the availability of it, right?
Cheers, Paul. Thanks for the streams. Good luck with finishing the Centurions.
Patrick Dudgeon, thank you for the 35 Tsar. What is that currency? I actually don't know what that currency is. Thank you for 35 of them. South African Rand. All right. Well, thank you. Also, to me, if people play X-Mod is bad because play with dice, nothing's actually. That is true. Also, I think there is a level of. I think the reason people say that model is bad is because there's almost like a, you know, there's almost what I guess you will set roles for what a unit does. Like, my Centurions are my damage dealer, and you have like damage dealers, things that do actions, stuff like that. And when you get to a unit, you go, do I have a better option to do that role with? But if, like, for example, Centurions, if I wanted just a pure damage dealer, I imagine that like a Repulsor Executioner might be better, for example. I don't know. But I like the Centurions, and I'm going to build my list around that. And I think that is the better way of doing it. Like, whatever your favorite unit is, or whatever unit people might think is bad, but you really like, if you can build around it, you can surprise people. I saw people in a comment thread talking about Reavers, Space Marine Reavers, which is, you know, seen as a very bad unit, but actually has play if you build around them. What do you think of the new Deep Strike detachment Centurions? No, I don't think so. I don't think Centurions are the Centurions are the least of your worries with that detachment. And I think the big issue is there's no way to up your Downy. The reason that Centurions work so well is that you can bring them up and down and move them around with Shadowmark Talon. And whilst you can then deep strike them, put them anywhere, you don't really need to. Because they have such long range, you can just put them at an edge. Which also means they're not susceptible to being charged either. I mean, maybe for Assault Centurions, but I don't think Assault Centurions are good enough that people are going to build around it, especially when they could build around something else, like a fucking tank. If you had the option, and you could deep strike 3 things, why would you not deep strike, like, 3 Land Raiders? When running heavy units for edition, they're mediocre, their damage output is frustrating low, their movement stinks, I love them. Yeah, I've seen success with heavy units, because, yeah, if you build around them, they do really well. Yeah, deep striking Dreadnoughts is going to be a thing. Like, I don't think that people are going to use that detachment for Centurions. Do you feel if Primaris Centurions drop in 11th? More Centurions for me. Hell yeah. How fun is 1,000 Sons to play? Is it good from competitive? I mean, a lot of conversations we have, like, anything's good if you're good. good enough. They're difficult to play, but they are a lot of fun because you can do some wacky stuff. Repex is better because it moves more to places. Exactly right. The Repulsion Executor is very good because it's tougher. It's not susceptible to chip damage because if you kill a Centurion, you lose a weapon. But you've got to get a Repex down quite a lot. It can move more. It can hold more stuff. It can do a lot more stuff, and it can carry people, right? However, because of I was using it in Vanguard Spearhead before, but now in Shadow Talon in both, uppy downing Centurions mitigates their one big weakness, and it's not something you can do with a Repex. And that's what like that's kind of what my point is, right? Like if you can very much shift the way things are played. There's a lot more options now to be able to use the cool thing you want to use and make it work by doing something cheeky. But it requires, game knowledge and stuff, which you need to build up over time. But that's going to be a lot better than someone who goes, oh, I'm going to just play a competitive list and net lists, and then realizes that they don't know what the hell they're doing. Which I don't think is very common. I think that's a lot more common on kind of a theoretical thing than it is general. I think most people just kind of play what they want. Sometimes what they want is just generally competitive. Have you seen the design for the Great Rush Scorpion? Yeah, I've seen a they're very silly. And again, like, when people say competitive or not, they're thinking about, could it win a grand tournament? But that's never been my, Obviously, that is kind of like the plan, right? Is to win an event. Because otherwise, you go in there and you're going like, oh, I'm going to win 3 and then just not. You go there to try and win every game, right? But it's a case of like, I'm going there to try, but I'm not expecting it. I don't think most people are either. But it doesn't mean that... But I think when people look at something that's competitive, it's like, can this thing win at the top tables? And the thing is, like, even if 18 Centurions or 36 Centurions prove to be this unstoppable monster of a list, I'm also not a good enough player, so I will probably get... even if I start going like 4-0 and I go against my last game to try and go 5-0, probably going to go play against a very, very good player who's going to beat me regardless. This is Revel, plastically. Reorder the new Necron Destroy Cult stuff. Hell yeah. I just have to build my Doomsday Arc. How would my Necron army look? I don't know yet. I've also ordered some of those boxes. Doomsday Arcs are horrible, I've heard. Which is why I don't want one. You're afraid the free Blade mobile game? No, I've not heard of it. Winning is desired outcome, not the required outcome. Exactly, right? Like, I don't go there... Like, people always go, like, competitive players only play to win. Or, like, they only... the only reason to play a competitive game is to win. And that's not really true. Like, the main reason I play the game is because it's fun. Desire to win is a bad desire. Desire to have fun, then you'll never fail your goal. But that's the thing, right? Like, you go to an event because you would like to win, because that's how, if you play a game, there is, like, whatever game you play, the goal of the game is to win. Right? Like, I go into the game going, I am going to do what I can to win. But that isn't going to be at the sacrifice of fun. Because if I just wanted to win, I could do a load of underhanded shit. I'm here to kind of just, play the game to beat my opponent. Whether or not I do that, doesn't... It's a very separate ideal to the fun part, right? Because I could have a game where I win that isn't fun. You know what I mean? I always found the term competitive kind of weird. Like, lists themselves don't win games. Exactly, right? Like... But I even think that's the thing with, like, with narrative players. Like, narrative players... Like, the narrative... You've built a narrative... This is what kind of things I said in, like, in my problems with narrative video. you build a narrative. The narrative is like you've got Group A is defending this and Group B is attacking this. You're still trying to win. To me, it isn't a desire to win for processing the fun part, like you're describing. I don't think that it sounds like you're thinking there's a zero-sum game. It's not a zero-sum game. I don't think there is. You can enter the game with more than one desire, if you see what I mean. Like, if you enter the game, like, I'm trying to have fun, but I'm also trying to win because that's the game, right? Like, you can do both. I don't think there is a one. It's not one or the other. You don't go into a game and go, okay, am I going to try and have fun or am I going to try and win? That's not how that works. And that's the same for narrative as well. Like I was saying, like with narrative, like you've set up the thing, and whilst there's a story to be told, if you don't pre-write the story to say you're going to lose this game. This isn't wrestling, right? You know, I mean, maybe you do, and maybe that's an interesting way to do it, actually. Maybe it is a pro wrestling type thing where you actually have pre-written that you are going to lose, and it's working. I guess the way you would do that is you would go, this is an unwinnable scenario, do your best, rather than going, okay, even if the dice flip the other way, you still need to lose this game for the narrative to make sense, if you see what. But you will do what you can to win. Because that's, even narratively, your narrative group, like your, in-universe group, your in-universe army is there to do a thing, and that thing is protect that area. If you protect that area, you win, right? Yeah, I don't think it's the case. I think that's where I see a lot of this kind of like not confusion. I think that's where a lot of the misunderstanding comes from, where people go, "Oh, well, if you're trying to win, then you're not trying to have fun." But you can do both. Like there's you don't go in there trying to lose, right? You don't go in there going, "I'm going to try and have fun." Because if you go in there trying to have fun, right, but you're winning, it's like, but the winning isn't fun. The losing isn't going to be any more fun. That wouldn't be fun. I want to have fun, and it's more fun to roll dice to see what happens. Well, I mean, that's the point, right? But again, it's not like, do you make... Like, yeah, that's the same with me, right? Like, if I go there, it's like, I'm going to make this decision to try and win, but if the dice say no, oh well. On the flip side, I have also done things where I've gone, this is a massive risk. Will the dice say yes? But again, even that in competitive or a tournament standpoint, that's just a tactical decision, right? That's a tactical choice to make. I can say it was rude to hope to win. I mean, I don't know how much that is the case, to be honest, but obviously the second edition was many years ago. But it's like anytime you go and play a board game, right? Like, there's a win condition. And your goal, the point of playing the game is to achieve the win condition, right? And that could be a more narrative win condition, or it could be a more competitive win condition. But if there's a win condition and you're playing the game, like you're going to do the things that get you to your win condition. With one, it's easy to enjoy losing because of the stories of the army. For me, because I don't play competitive, for me, I enjoy losing because I'm having fun with another person. And for me, there's the level of, like I say, it's the puzzle. I'm like, trying to discover stuff. I'm learning. That kind of stuff is always fun. Had a game last week where me and my friend took 1k each of demons against our other friend with Tyranids. We almost took the board but lost the points. Yeah, like you can do stuff like that, right? But even I don't think it even is the balance between story and. Oh, I guess that's if your goal is to find the balance between story and winning, right? For me, there's no story because they are tournament games, but it is a case of it's the journey of me as a player, right? Like, the journey is not one of the in-universe game. The journey is the one of me, the player, trying to improve with my silly army. My friend has Centurions. They're ready to threat the gladiator, wards them off. He probably doesn't have enough of them, then. What's this background music? I don't know. I think it's called Essence of Love or something. Yeah, Essence of Love by Ben Elson at the moment. I should have a way of displaying the song name. They get a very swingy game in general. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like... One thing I think that people talk about with competitive stuff is how to essentially mitigate variance. But at the end of the day, it can still screw you over. And how you react from that is interesting. Nothing wrong with playing a casual narrative game, even with a tough list. Yeah, I mean, win at all costs is a very different thing. Win at all costs is kind of just like a... That's where you get people arguing the toss over every minute thing, right? And that's the thing, like, yeah, like Romero says, like, 40k is a cooperative game. I've always said that just because of the complexity of it. Obviously, specific tactics is different, but I will always say, like, you know, I can do this, like, just it's an open information game. By being cooperative, what you're saving is the time it takes for you to look up the rule in the book when the other person could just tell you. I play Super 2 I'm not actually, no. Not with 40k. No one wants to win because their opponent lacked information. Exactly right. I've even done a thing where I've gone, oh shit, I forgot to tell you I can do this. You can take back that entire decision because you lacked critical information, or you can continue doing it and just try and work it out from there. You know. Or if the game's gone too far and I realise something, I go, okay, I forgot about that. I didn't tell you. You would have done something different. If you had known this, I'm not going to do it, but I will remember in the future. And my opponents have done that for me as well. Again, all levels of, however good they are, right? It doesn't matter the level of the player. Everyone does that. Everyone should do that. I've never had someone not do that. But obviously, that's different to me going, I'm going to drop my guys down here and shoot over here. If they've seen that I could instead have gone somewhere else, which would have been better, they don't tell me that. That's a tactical thing, right? They tell me that after the game. And that's always interesting. But like, I usually ask my opponent, like, what could I have done differently? And there's usually a thing of like, okay, your target selection here wasn't as good, or you didn't have to do this. You could have saved it for something else. That's all useful information. They aren't gotchas. They are, because that's more tactical. Because I had all the information, I just made the wrong choice. Oh, we didn't. Did I go all of those? Yeah, I think we go 17, 18, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think we'll do all of those. We just get the entire top half done. Find those. This triggers being sloppy. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And it's stuff like, that's how kind of intent works, right? Where you go, I want to make sure I'm out of line of sight. You do the check there. If it in the future turns out that's not true, you can readjust. You don't go, oh, we said this was out of line of sight. But now that I can see you, I'm going to shoot you. You go, oh, we said this was out of line of sight, we agreed, but turns out I can shoot you, so you just need to shuffle. Like... thank you for the €5.
What are your thoughts on 3D printing instead of buying models? I want to play in tournaments and not sure on the rules.
A different alternative for that is going to using Tabletop Simulator. A lot of support for that, which is going to be even cheaper than 3D printing. I don't care. I don't have enough time or effort to care if you either buy proper ones or buy 3D printed ones. I'm not going to stop you. Like, there's nothing I can say or do that's going to change anyone's mind. So, obviously there are limits to that. Like if you're buying, it's yeah, I don't know. As long as you're not going to a tournament with like, just horrendously like themed or uncomfortable models, right? Doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. But someone used the rules gotcha as a tent. Not recent, no. That is a story that's come out. I think that was I think someone told the story, but that story was from like many, many years ago. It was essentially, someone was playing by intent, or not playing by intent, was gotchaing people, got to the final, did a thing that what he wanted to take back, and his opponent said no, because the person who wanted to take back had been saying no to take backs the whole tournament. So he basically got, he got fucked by his own playstyle, and he learned from that. Now apparently he's, they apologized, they sorted it out, he's a better player for it now, I believe. In fact, the opposite is kind of true. At the final of the London GT, there are fantastic examples of playing by intent, and the winner, Liam VSL, basically being like, "Oh hey, I brought my Vindicator on, but I can see your Scourges. You can shift them around, so they're out of line of sight," because they had that conversation already. That was the final of the London GT. And that is the absolutely more accepted and more standard way to play. Now, at least. I do find with tabletop sim for me, I don't use it that often, because I find it's a very different vibe. Because obviously it's not one-on-one, it's not like face-to-face, not moving your models physically. So there's tools in there that are really useful, but also it's tabletop sim, it's a bit jank anyway, so. How far to get? Sounds okay. Basically, yeah, like Guna models, like or kind of, how do I phrase this without starting a whole thing? Undesirable iconography, let's say. That's probably how I would describe that. Undesirable iconography. Issue fact, I have post office recently solved the deep strike attachment, since there's now 3 deep strike. A lot of people say that, but I don't think it's true. I might actually make a video on this, because I think it'd be an interesting discussion topic. I honestly don't think the new... Jesus Christ! That scared the shit out of me. I keep forgetting about that.
Just wanted to show my support. My brother introduced me to you, and a month later I'm painting my Tau to defend the greater good against his tyrannid army. Keep being cool, mate.
Lars or Laws, thank you very, very much for the £10. Keep forgetting the £10 super chat is that bloody hype. Thank you very much. Your brother introduced you to me, and now you're painting Tau. Hell yeah. What have you been painting? I was playing a horror game. Why was that so bad? Oh, I love the pipe. It's so innocuous as well. Like, it's just out of nowhere. Just dong! Oh, dearie me. Yeah, because I think obviously people are probably moving away from Shadowmark Talon. Because it got nerfed, but I'm not. I had to drop a unit of intercessors, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not the end of the world. And I think it's still just as powerful, because I think uppy downy and being able to come to the edge is better than one deep strike. But it might be better for assaults. I don't know. I was so relaxed until now. How many people did I lose? How many viewers left? I wonder if I can see like on the analytics, like the drop. Yep. It's very funny. People are like, pipe, nope, I'm out. It's a good thing I do it at this time, because I don't think anyone, I guess maybe Australia is using this as a sleep stream. You woke up and you fell asleep to the stream. I do apologize. Blame laws. It was their fault. They're the one who brought this evil upon you. So the Combat Patrol for Christmas, and I'm painting it now, and I have an unopened far site cadre. Hell yeah. Remember when working at a local game store show be like his does I really thought Paul. And I said I want at least 1 unit of 3 devs. Yeah. I feel like 1 unit of 3. This is going to obviously be me being like, oh, Centurions are great. I think 1 unit of 3 just isn't it. I don't think it does. Like, it's a nice little cheeky unit, but I just don't think it's powerful enough compared to just dropping a big 6. I feel like 6 is such a good amount because it also has redundancy within it, and it will delete anything in the game. Like, it really does. It really multiplies the power. That's why you need this to build. I need the build instructions because I don't build them that often, and also I would, even if I knew exactly what I was doing, I would still have the instructions because my brain needs kind of confirmation. Because if I start to good case in point was me boarding the loft over Christmas and New Year. If my brain gets into a rhythm, I'll start missing stuff. I kept forgetting to put the fucking insulation back after I put the legs in before I put the board in. So I had to basically stuff it under the board to put it back where it was. And I kept forgetting it because my brain wasn't... I didn't have, like, the list in front of me, so my brain kept skipping a step. Let's look at the original Vanguard detachment of Raven Guard successors. Unless or Phobos. Yeah, I don't think... Unless you're... Yeah, the only thing you really gain is... if you're taking Sharn, you get... Re-uppy Downy. I think Oops or Phobos probably doesn't really require that as much. Because you still get to lift 2 things up, and if you've got, like, Phobos Captains, they can do it for free anyway. Because I think, weirdly, Shadow Mark Talon works better if you're going more jump pack. Because of, like, the advance and charge with Phobos. If you have Shrike in there, his Phobos allows the advance and charge. For CP, stuff like that. And I think a Deadly Prize is more useful if you're going full Phobos, because you can get around the board better. I'm chilling, fueling an aircraft. Yes, that pipe. I wonder what the worst thing that someone could be doing while watching this stream when someone sends the pipe. Are you away from Raven Guard? No, the Deep Strike one doesn't, unfortunately. You know what? I'm probably gonna have to make that video, aren't I? Should be able to make that. I just think that I'm getting asked that question a lot, and I think I have enough to talk about that I think will be an interesting video that will kind of consolidate my thoughts on it. But essentially, no, I don't think so. Because I don't think, specifically for the way I play, 18 Centurions doesn't need Deep Strike in the way I play, because my board presence comes from jump units, right? And with 36 Centurions, my big issue there is I can't Deep Strike that many things. I guess I could, because Deep Strike stuff doesn't go into Strategic Reserve. So I guess I could have 3 Deep Strike things, but then I have no other power in that list and no way to uppy downy. So with 36 Centurions, my main plan is use Gladius anyway. I don't know. It might be a thing, but I just feel like there's not enough incentive. You know what I mean? When I could Gladius and just throw 18 Assault Centurions forward first and be like, okay, come fight me. And then once you've dealt with them, I have 18 Assault Centurions behind them going, okay, now deal with us. And just kind of like rotate them in and out. Glad we get into Warhammer. I'm proud to report to play my first game ever. Hell yeah, how'd it go? Did you have fun? Did you win? Did you have fun? That is true, yeah. I mean, someone... Right. I mean, first of all, the thing that my head went towards Tristan
Look
there.
at the size of that thing.
Whoa! $20.
Hey, Paul, me again.
Hey, peace,
Hope
space.
YouTube won't end my message earlier again.
Hopefully not.
Just wanted your thoughts on using the 3 Seraptech heavy construct and then bring in a Nightbringer Ektan and a Hexmark destroyer as part of my gimmick.
Thank you very much for the $20. That sounds cool as hell. I'm gonna have to look up the Straptic Heavy Construct. Ooh, there are a lot of points. T12, 24 wounds, 3 up, 5 up. Power shock, move weird. Oh, those things. Has 2 singularity generators, which are strong. Or can replace them with 2 of those and 2 of those. You probably would do, right? I mean, that sounds cool as hell. I'd do it. Sounds like an awesome idea. I think it would be fun to... It'd be one of those ones I think people look at it and be like, what the fuck is this? This looks amazing. Like 3 Lord Call of Skulls, right? Can I keep doing this? I absolutely can. And I will continue to do so. The Centurions will continue until morale improves. Tell you what, we'll... 36. Alt gate. It's Gluin time. Love to catch a stream. Love the vids. For a new player, anyone have any suggestions how to start building a list for an army? The best way is see what looks cool, and then put those into a list, and then keep adding stuff you think looks cool until the list is enough points. Now play. Because you're a brand new player, there's no reason to try and get into like proper list building in terms of like having the right things in the right place. Just because there's so many more things you need to learn before you get to that point. But once you get a few games under your belt against like random lists or whatever, or against, you know, people like will help you, it's a lot easier. Warhammer as a game is a lot easier to learn when you're playing the game, because you pick up things a lot easier that way. 3 Norn Emissaries, 3 Norn Assimilators for fun. That sounds awesome. Using the Hypercrypt Legion teleporters around as well. Yeah, that's yeah, because you could give the Hexmark Destroyer the thing that allows him to do an extra thing can teleport. You can have 4, I think. You can essentially just have all your models teleporting around. Yeah, that sounds awesome. You should do it. Sounds like you are doing it, so good. It sounds like you have the money for it, because you gave me $20, so clearly you could afford them. I like the more fan-made ones. I've heard that. I prefer these ones. It's not right if they're too tall for me. But again, if they re-released Primaris ones, they were taller, I wouldn't like. Ugh. Yeah, we had this conversation earlier, but essentially, yeah, like whether a unit is good or not won't matter to a new player, because what does that mean? Like, good in what way? If someone is still learning how the dice work and how the move works, then, you know, whether a unit is good or bad is not a concern, right? Because that's kind of beyond the level of knowledge that they need. And even if it is bad, like we said earlier, like, you could probably make it work if you just keep using it and learning like what it does and how it works. And obviously stuff changes all the time. Like what is bad now might be good tomorrow. Or maybe you get enough experience at the game where you go, actually, I think I have an idea of how to use them. Or you just go, I think these are cool and I'm never going to not use them. So I'm just going to have to deal with whether they're good or bad. Oh, it's probably the other one. The directional pole, you know. There you go. And ta-da! We have one top half of a Centurion. God damn it, I just got another Liam Dempsey. Yeah, I think the thing is, because everyone... I've had a Liam Dempsey membership for, God, I don't know. Like, a year? Because I think because they gift so often in there, they gift so many memberships in Liam Dempsey, that even if you have watched recently, you will get a membership because everyone else already has one. Yeah, he's opening up his new hobby place pretty soon, I think. That's very local to me, so I'm sure I will go and check that out. Bought that because that's sounds like a very sounds like a good thing to support. I look forward to going for that. What do you think about taking Marnie's cargo with Victory's Garden? I have no. I know it's good, but I don't really know much about them. I haven't really looked into it. Not my flavor of Space Marine. I know about Shrike and Shan. I've been getting plenty to play Drukhari and Heresy enough. My list uses 3 Drukhari combat trolls. Yeah. The new one or the original one? The original one is insane. Mind of Royce, thank you for subscribing. Prime. The original was so good that if you ever wanted a raider, it was literally better to buy a combat patrol because you got 2 raiders. You want all the racks? Ah, nice. Yeah, the racks are cool. I do like racks. Flavor Centuries. These are all of these are going to be assaults. I have enough Devastators now. How many fast track server turrets? Are too many fast track server turrets? 7. Because you can't take any more than 6. Hello, Among Us enjoyers. We're trying to see how it is. Yeah. Be the change you want to see in the world. Unless you live like literally 2 hours from anyone else, in which case that's kind of unfortunate. Or make the trip. It's usually like a weekend thing, so you can make a weekend out of it. 2 ballistices and a squad of 6 devs. And that sounds fine. I think that's good. Fairly with that, you basically have your kind of anti-tank sorted, right? Like that's your damage, your big damage sorted. It's then going to be a case of what you feel the rest of this. Because essentially, like, 2 ballistices is about the same cost as 6 dev sets, right? So essentially, you're like compared to my list is, I would have 12 dev sets. So you have even less than I do. So you have more to work with. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, these ones are so common, these hobby types. These are, like, Amazon basic or whatever. I'm also going to stream the painting process. Probably. It depends on time. But I do plan to stream all the process. But if I start running out of time, I'm going to have to be like, oh shit, and just like flat them. Just to get them done. So essentially, I have until the middle of March to get these done. Which doesn't sound like it'd be too difficult, right? But I'm pretty sure I could probably get all. If I did nothing but this, I could probably get these. I would hate that, and also my my wallet would hate that. I need to release videos to survive, make videos, even if they're stupid ones on the gaming channel, because randomly a gaming channel might get 300,000 views. Triple storm surge and then riptides. Be fun. Yeah, 3 storm surges just seem pretty good. Just again, it's that kind of like skew of just big thing. And again, if you know what you're doing with them, like you can surprise people. I really fucked that. Oh no. Bit of strength puts that back where it was. I almost these bits were like slightly unaligned, and the glue was starting to really set, so I had to give it a bit of welly. Good thing I started going back to the gym on Monday. Urgh. Big boy. Big boy. Alright, I need to...
Here comes trouble!
Here comes trouble. Glorious miniatures. 30 people. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. How is it going? You're all doing well. Thank you for the raid. How's your stream? Hope it went well. What we were up to. And other such questions. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Woke up, ate some breakfast. Took a shower and saw Paul is making more Cinties. Hell yeah. Again. Put together an old 90s Lehman Russ. Damn. Classic 90s Lehman Russ. If you want to see a classic 90s Lehman Russ, over on Twitch at some point. Obviously not right now, because he's just raided me, unless you raided me and you're still streaming. Or if you know exactly where Glorious Miniatures lives, and you just want to peer through their window and look at a 90s Lehman Russ, do that. However, the better option is just follow him on Twitch, and then when he goes live, you'll be able to see that. Oh, these Centurions never built one before. I don't put the only problem I have is later on when you start doing the cables. They're a bit of a nightmare. Everything else is fine. This will be my of this model. This is my 19th, 20th, and 21st. Plenty of them. I get really messed when I was like, yeah, I have stuff on my painting desk that I should have done months ago. I feel really bad about not doing it. I keep looking at it and going, oh, there's not much more to do, but also Hollow Knight's over there. There are actually reasons why so many or so few. Because I'm insane. I'm going to go to a tournament in April with 36 Centurions. The list is 36 Centurions and 1 character. My normal, quote unquote, normal list that I'm going to a tournament. I'm going to like 3 tournaments in a row at the end of the month and the start of February. My normal list uses 18 Centurions. No, not Adepticon. It's South Coast Super Major in the UK. Unfortunately, like people have been asking if I would go to Adepticon. 1, in a different country. 2, regardless of it being in a different country, I will be in a different country during Adepticon. I'll be in Japan during Adepticon. Fortunately, the South Coast Super Major, literally down the road from me, so that's not too bad. Yeah, my plan is to basically run a list with 36 Centurions. You can find out more on my YouTube channel if you have not watched my very silly YouTube video. And if you're coming over from Twitch from Glorious Miniatures, there should be a link in the About page, I think, to my YouTube channel where I do stupid stuff. And also on these streams I do stupid stuff, because every so often we'll go on a weird tangent. Sand Guardian, thank you for sharing the Prime. How long have I been to Warhammer 4? I guess since 2020... I started the channel in 2022, and that was about a year in? No, hang on. When did I start the channel? 2022, yeah? Yeah. So I guess 2021? British Fancy is dangerous to pile of shame. Fortunately, most of the models you can get in Japan that you can get cheaper in Japan than anywhere else, come mostly pre-built. With very large weaponry up top. What are you on YouTube vlog content? Thank you very much. By the way, as well, I did once again the one thing I do like about YouTube statistics is they don't lie. I can see where the spike in viewership is for my latest video, and it just so happens to coincide with a certain image. Once again, y'all ain't beating the allegations. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my latest video. Not right now, obviously. Watching me this. I mean, you could go right now. Watch both at the same time. Open up all of my videos at once and watch them all go at once while I'm also talking over them. If you want to go completely mad. So the latest video, it was the how many models did I paint in 2025? And the answer was not that many. You can talk here too, you can. It was, yes, Slaneshian influence. Anime figures, plus the image of the... I found it for, I think it was actually for a video I did. I think it was one of the first that video might be exactly a year old. My how to win every tournament, which is just go insane. I found an image of a it's what I guess what you kids would call a Guna model of a sexy grot, like a sexy goblin, 40k model. And I've used that image in random places, and every time it comes up, the spike on the video when that one comes up, where people go back and watch that part of the video, I'm like, hey, look, you know. If it works, it works. If it gets engagement, it gets engagement. You're beating the allegations? Quite possibly. Now you're going to go back and check, and it's going to properly... That... Gaijin Goomba... I don't know. I don't know where I found it. Well, I do. I found it on Google. And then I bought an entire army. No, I didn't. Gunpla. What name? I mean, to be fair, yeah, Gunpla will be cheap out there. I should buy a bunch of Gunpla. But I mean, just in general, I'm sure there'll be lots of other souvenirs that are non-model based that I'll be buying from Japan, because it's like my once in a lifetime trip to Japan, probably. I honestly only watch for the chance to see sexy gold. That's true. Like, people don't watch my video. I've trained my audience to not watch my videos, or to watch my videos, but not for the actual video. I reckon I could release a video which is just absolutely, word salad nonsense, but people will continue watching for a couple of reasons. Either to see the Grommet mug, or try and find the Grommet mug, or just for the ad. Among Us enjoys. Thank you for coming. Prime. Or for the ad read, where I say magnet. Or, now apparently, just in case I use the sexy goblin picture. 2026 is the year of short stacks, I guess. It's Paul's time to, I'm sick of not having 100,000 subscribers. We're getting close, but it's not fast enough. So this is the year where I fully I fully integrate myself into the VTuber system, and I become a sexy short stack. What do you set up your camera? I'm looking at stream painting. I just have a webcam pointing down. Which is why the angle's kind of weird, because it's coming from my monitor. So I just have it on my monitor and just lean it down. Magnet source, yes, my mother's paying attention. There's more to the vids than the magnet. I know, right? Like, there's a whole other part of the video. Have I looked into Gun Tabletop Minis? Not yet, no. Will at some point. I'm still not sure whether it's actually released or not. Because there's also a card game, but that also might be the mini game. I actually don't know. But must get some and lurk for now. Hopefully, shall return. All right. Thanks for the raid again, and welcome in everyone from Glorious Miniatures. Make sure to give them a follow from Twitch. When you're fun, I am unsure of what to do if I have an opponent that isn't a super nice guy or super nice gal. Like, I don't know. I'm watching a Shaggot video with him referencing Paul as Tabletop Strong Man. That is, I've had the funny part is obviously like people go, oh, you know, when Centurions mentioned, Paul is mentioned. But when people ask for a carrying case solution, magnets is mentioned. When people just mention magnets, I saw a video where someone was like talking about magnets and then went, oh, I won't do that because that's Paul's thing. Like, I've got certain things that I'm just known for. 10-hour magnets compilation. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know what to do if I ever come across someone who is not a super nice guy. I probably won't say much. I'll probably just be like, or I would just like try and dance around the fact that game happened, because I don't want to give them, you know, attention, but I also, on the other hand, I don't want people to be like, try and find out who they are and then try and like harass them around. It depends. If they're really, really, you know, they're an awful person, I'll be like, this person's I won't name them, but like they were a prick. But yeah, I don't know. So far, so good. I think my demeanor also means that I'm less likely to have that kind of interaction, because at the end of the day, someone's gonna look at my list and just be like, "Oh, right, this is." Like, I think it's not even the worst, but definitely I've had games which have been, they're still fun games, but my opponent's quite quiet and shy. That's usually where kind of the if there's not that much rapport, but that's not a problem with them as a player or a person. That's just kind of a, you know, they're either shy or, you know, anxious or something, and they're still polite, right? The Centurions lull them into good mood, exactly. And also, I do find my objective markers, which you can get at portisbad@stuff.shop, really help, because it's just like, oh, okay, this is very silly. You know, they get to pick what face they want on their home objective. It kind of sets the mood, right? I do give them the option. I say, do you want me to, like, if I have my markers away, I've got these silly ones, but if you don't want to use these, I do have standard ones. No one has said no. Yeah, I may have some promotional minis that came with it for a bit, but the tabletop game isn't out yet. Yeah, when it comes out, I'll have a look into it. Have I counted many women in tournaments? At the London GT, there were a fair number. I played against one. Yes. Much like my YouTube statistics, it's very male dominated. It's quite the sausage fest in here. I will magnetize the bases. It's not all a lie. Yeah, ever thought about doing one box a month? I'll shame down. You said Xbox, but we'll come back to that joke, because I don't know where I will go with that, but no, I think the thing is, like, having a like goal like that won't help me, because that becomes, okay, do 1 box a month. That basically becomes do 1 box at the end of each month and rush it, because that's not how kind of my brain works. But because you typoed and I get to be the streamer and be, haha, you typoed, I get to go off on a tangent. Ever thought about doing 1 Xbox a month? I mean, I guess I could buy an Xbox a month in a while. What do you think about Age of Sigmar? I like it. I need to play it at some point. I have an army, kind of. My experience was back in 8th, and the dude was prolific. I think that's what we were talking about earlier, right? Where I think because of the explosion in popularity in 9th and 10th, those kind of prolific people are being diluted out and eventually no longer welcome. So I think when the game is less popular, right, and there's not that many people playing, you kind of feel like this is like one of the 3 other people who play this game, like, kind of have to get what we're given. But now it's like you can find games so easily or on Tabletop Simulator that those kind of people, just like, we don't have to play with them. And their attitude is not acceptable. So we won't accept it. They are being, they can no longer can no longer get away with their shit because they don't have the power anymore. There's no power dynamic there for them, so they are kind of. And I think kind of the kind of proliferation of kind of the tournament scene, it's easier to find, it's easier to find the information about what is acceptable. I do think that does mean people do worry too much. I was definitely, when I went to my first couple of tournaments, I was like, oh, am I going to be up that guy because I'm slow or, not playing it right, whatever. But I've never, like, it's, again, my first game at a proper tournament was against one of the best players in the world on, like, table 1. He had, Ben Jones had his, like, team top on. I had a stupid goofy shirt. And it was like, he was super nice, and even though he was a much better player than me, he helped me get through the game, helped me with my, play and stuff, and spoke to me again later on. He was really nice. And after that, I was never really worried, so. Hey, Fritters, how's it going? Was the blue block using this plastic? Yes, this plastic cement. This is Revel plastic cement. You hate this one? I like this one. I'm not a fan of. I know people like the Tamiya extra thin. It is somewhat cult-like in its appreciation. I'm not a big fan of brush applicators. I'm much more used to this. Just a personal preference. I'm not saying Tamiya extra thin is bad. It's not one of those. It's like, oh, you don't use Tamiya extra thin, you must think it's like literally Satan. It's just not my preference. Or maybe I should start a campaign. Maybe I am being too nice. What do people think? Should I start being an arsehole? Should I convert from being, the friendly 2D haha funny VTuber to a, aggressively opinionated and angry short stack VTuber? Do you think that's a good career choice? Something tells me it's not, but. Sometimes you have to make massive, sudden changes to your entire personality to make the stream work. And I guess I do that anyway, right? Because I'm not actually normally this friend. So I guess I could just revert to my normal thing, right? We'll go went 1-4 at Knots GT this weekend. Oh, nice, you were at Knots. Yeah. The new Wolves detachment is fun. And Ayak almost took down Magnus and Bellacore. Absolute lad. 5 cracking games, no one was that guy. Awesome. I had a good time. Yeah, should I go full, like, Tamiya extra thin? I don't know. Just catch one of your streams. Been on for a minute. What kind of music do you like to listen to? Normally, my musical choice is power metal, and like metal themes of video game songs. Richard EB is great. I love power metal. Anything fast, high energy. That's kind of my my level. Get an orc yeah, I'll get a short stack orc VTuber model, and I'll do my orc voice, but I'll modulate I've got a thing I can modulate it to make it higher pitched. And And that'll be my new feature persona, and that'll be the one I use for when I'm really angry and just kind of want to, farm drama. What is bad at stuff goes off on Samir extra thin. That's how I used to have long hair. I had long hair before because I was too lazy to cut it, basically. Oh, it was awful. It was horrible. It was horrible. Yeah. Oh yeah. Got to do the hot tub stuff. Orc rant Sona. There you go. That's what we need. With the biggest assets I can possibly afford. Weirdly, I haven't actually listened to Sabaton. I don't listen to much Sabaton. My favorite bands are stuff like Snart Antarctica, Dragon Force, Blind Guardian, Pentakill. But I like stuff like Billy Talent. I like Offspring. I like. I'll go through my brain now and work out what bands I like. Probably there's some I'm missing. I really like. I've got a bit of Hammerfall, yeah, Power Wolf, Thin Temptation, that kind of stuff. I like to make extra thin because of the brush applicator, but I found the bonds aren't as strong. Yeah, for me, I'm just not a big fan of brush applicator. It's literally that is the personal preference. Yeah, nothing too interesting, to be honest. Come on. This one blocks up, which is annoying. It's not too bad to fix, but it's one of those things I was like, I'd rather you like to. I am inherently lazy, rather than not have any sort of problem, or even just small inconvenience. Oh, inconvenience! Ugh. God, everything's shit. I'm gonna set everything on fire. We heard Warhammer's music label. I have not, no. How many Centurions you have now? This is gonna be actual Centurions. This will be totaling 21. But I do have 6 Saturnines. I've never actually used Citadel glues. I've always just used Revel. Because it's cheap to buy. Get like a pack of 2 or 3 or whatever. I imagine someone's doing an Orc cadence with the voice as high as Iron Mouse. I don't know. The problem is I don't know how it will sound. I imagine it will sound awful if I modulated the voice and then did my Orc voice like. Because the problem is with the Orc voice goes down. It's a deeper voice than my normal voice. So then it'll have to go up again and it'll sound a bit like a witch. Basically. It'll be the Wicked Witch of the West, basically. Hi, my pretties, but drop my heads. I don't know. Mostly super glue. That's fine. Like I like plastic cement's very nice because it is very, very solid. But super glue is more forgiving because if you make a mistake, you just go. Like, this bonds it and becomes one piece, and that's not happening. Wicked Witch is true. Have we considered that the Wicked Witch is in fact an orc? As we all know, orcs also melt with water. I think it's the best orc voice in man. It's very easy for me to do an orc voice because I'm British. And it's literally just doing an orc voice. But it's just being a bit more romping, basically. You go down. You go, oh, look at me. Makes you sound like a grot. Come my boys, bring me the Emperor. His little beaky boy too. It does hurt my throat. The one problem is it does hurt my throat. And so if I wanted to become that streamer, I would have... Each of my streams would have to be like 10 minutes long. Because I couldn't keep the voice up. These will be Assault Devastators. Assault Centurions. Assault Devastators. I should have done all of them with one arm being Assault, one arm being Devastate, and just been like, I don't know, mix and match. Sound like Captain Price? I don't know any Captain Price lines. I know who you mean. Yeah, orc voice is a very easy one to do. Space Marines. That's how you get into it. Space Marines, Crumpin. Whoa! I have to try. Whenever I record a video, if orcs come up, I have to stop myself from doing the orc voice because it's so easy to fall into, like, just immediately. That one. I don't think it matters, to be honest. Doesn't matter. It's far too easy for me to, like, you just okay, and here in the Orc Codex we start looking at the detachment. The detachment is it just happens. That's what that one. Puzzle. There we go. They actually do have an order that I need to put them. Fine. Or is zogged. You thought about magnetizing them? Not really, no. I don't see where you would, is the thing. Because the hands, regardless of what hand you use, you've got to kind of do it at that bit, essentially. And that seems like it's a nightmare. And I'm just, again, inherently lazy. Is nail glue. This is not a nail gun. That would be a way of building Warhammer, just a fucking nail gun. I need this bit to stick together. Ka-chunk! As you just work with the changes to Shadowmark talent, just the 8th and chance ability doesn't change. Because I never use the turn 1 rapid ingress thing. You mean changes that made when they're released or changes since the data state? Because if you talk about since released, the way it changes is that I can basically uppy downy every turn for free, and it's basically a command point generator for me. Well, this is a useless question considering, but how much do you rate Centurions and heavy melee style armies like Blood Claws, Space Wolves? I think pretty well. Again, you have to work around it, but all of the buffs that you get from those kind of melee ones, like even in Blood Angels as well, benefit Centurions quite a lot. But you have to work around that. I'm going to guilt trip you. My really old hamster is slowly croaking. That was really poorly timed.
Hello again. Would you play any 40k tournaments in Ireland? And what are your thoughts on a full army of Outriders using DK Company of Hunters?
Lord Warfare, thank you for the 10 euros. I'd love to go to Ireland. It's somewhere that the woman and I talked about going on our honeymoon. Go to visit Dublin. I'd love to go to Ireland. And yeah, if I get the opportunity, I'm sure I will. Full army of Outriders using Company of Hunters, do it. And going back to the thing that is unfortunately the thing that was before, which is Biscuit Hamster's hamster is unfortunately dying. Wants to name one of these guys Biscuits. I mean, you could call whichever one you want Biscuit. I don't remember the names of any of my models, to be honest, so pick which one of these is your favorite, and that's Biscuit. And I'll make sure to try and, I'll paint it in a certain way, and then when the video comes up and you see it, that one will be Biscuit. Middle one, okay. I'll remind me of that. However that one gets painted, if you see it on a video, you can be like, hey, look, there's Biscuit. So you're building next Legends unit in 11th? There you go, you see. It just means that I can turn up to a Legends tournament in 11th and be like, haha, I'm prepared. Here's 36 Centurions. 18 Death Shroud Terminators in a Death Guard list? Hell yeah. These will be Assault Centurion. You struggle to deploy everything because of how big the Outriders are, but it's a hell of a fun list. It does seem fun. I was tempted to use Company of Hunters for my Centurions, just because you get it's Advance and Shoot, or Advance and Charge, which is very useful. Looking out to build a carrying case we got for Christmas. It better have been a Mad Case Super Overdale.com, or I will do nothing. I mean, I say the woman, I laugh a little. I feel slightly bad because the person who coined that term is always like, I'm sorry, like, it was a kind of a, not so much a mistranslation, but it was like, I didn't mean to say it like that. But the woman is so funny. Like, both me and the woman love that phrase. It's just funny. Someone made a comment which is like, oh, it's a bit misogynistic of you to call your wife the woman. I'm like... I didn't reply to it, but I was just like, the woman loves it and just thinks it's very funny. I don't know. Again, it's the internet, like, those comments are bad. So I do want to check while we're here. Because these you look at the head that you get with a normal Centurion. Not that much smaller, but it's certainly small. It's smaller enough that it'll get lost in the... Unfortunately, I can't use it. I'll just find another use for those. But she is the woman, exactly. Think that character Centurions would ever be a thing? I don't know. I'd probably not. I'm making my own custom one for a chapter master, which I will at some point make a video. The thing with Centurions is I look at all the characters you can get, and any character you give to a Centurion, if you had like the generic captain or lieutenant as a Centurion version, that makes Centurions horrifying. A Centurion lieutenant giving lethal hits, terrifying. Okay, so now we need to put these two up. Okay, now we need to work on like model by model. So, there's kind of a lot of... This is the bit that kind of sucks. It's the lot of pieces being put together. So these three, I think I'm going to go with Melter, because I've seen the Melter now. That. Alright, yeah. We got time. Oh, is this one of those ones which is stupid? Maybe. May well be. No, it's not. I'm looking for... I mean, it doesn't really matter what arm you use. I'm just going to... Okay. Yeah, like a Centurion Chaplain giving +1 to wound. No. You've been for a while? Thank you very much. Even just like... You can use, you know, the... you can do something for one less command point. Just that on its own is insane, because it basically allows you to use Strike from the Shadows, or whatever it's called now, Stunning Fusillade. It allows you to use that for free on a unit, which is horrifying, frankly. We have a drill bit. 65A. The only 40k army that's interested me is Eldar Exodites. I've seen an Eldar Exodites army. It's someone had it. I think Tabletop Tactics guys have actually used it on their channel, but someone brought it. It's a beautiful army. Absolutely. Now, is this the one that's stupid? I keep saying that, and I'm not explaining myself, and I think there's one of these weapons which is actually backwards. I think it might be a las cannon, to be fair. But one of them's labeled wrong. And it's actually the left one's labeled as the right one. I don't think this is... I also need... Oh, this part's stupid. It doesn't tell you what number that is. I think it's meant to be 70. No. I think it's meant to be... 58. No, it's 58 and 70, but I don't know which way. I think it's 58. That makes sense. It doesn't actually tell you what number that is. I don't know if you can see the instructions. Yeah, this one here. It doesn't tell you what this piece, what number this piece is. I think it's that one. That looks correct. That doesn't look correct. It's because that is not correct. It's actually the other one. It's 70. This is why you should be labeling your numbers. Thank you, whoever handled those having build more Centurions. It's very nice to have my my body double, my stunt body doing this for me, because I can't be asked to do it myself. That also looks Correct. Yeah, that. So we got 59. Those bits. Those bits. We also need 67 and 66. Oh. 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 Number. Mods, anyone who laughs at that, take them out back. Now, I know from the stream delay that people are going to react to it, and then they're going to hear the next bit and be like, wait, no. Or everyone just leaves. Like, fucking this guy. What if I laughed? Mods. Revoke their... revoke them. They are revoked. Mods, abstract them. God, the mold lines on these. This one seems worse than, like, obviously there's variants, right? Sometimes the mold lines are better than other times. Like this particular hacker Centurions is not ideal. So maybe put some Centurions in Flesh Tear Resist? Hell yeah. Came out in 2023? God damn. 2013. I can't even read properly. They're old models, to be fair. But God, they're glorious. Glorious models. For a glorious era. That one's the wrong. I already did that bit. I would think Paul would be able to construct Centurions in his sleep. People overestimate how smart I am. I forget stuff very, very quickly. Obviously, there's a muscle memory to it. I've got we started our dance because the place we do our the woman and I do our dance lessons takes a break over December. We went back there, started going back there last week, and I'd forgotten fucking everything. I didn't know how to move anything. I didn't know how dance worked. I'm better at the second dance we did in the first one. Walt, I'm shit at Walt. The kind of ballroom dances, but I'm much better at Latin style dance. And I'm not going to continue that conversation any further and just make you all go, what the fuck are you? That's what I like doing, because obviously with the delay chat, especially on YouTube, it's very funny to say stuff like that and be like, I've moved on now, before anyone can react to what I just said. Right, these thumbs are always a bit of a nightmare. If I start Salamand's RP and my Wolf Centurions, hell yeah. I think Grey Knights should be Primarist. I think Grey Knights, I don't think they'll be Primarist, but I think they will be upscaled at some point. Because they are a little bit outdated. They need a bit of bulking up. They look a little bit sorry for themselves. I wouldn't like to see it because I love Grey Knight, their style. And if they made like awesome looking Grey Knights, I'd be like, oh, I don't want another army. GW, stop, no. These thumbs are always a bit of an like that. It's just a bit difficult to get the right orientation with them because of the way the bald rim tends. We can pull up random lore. I know, right? You don't know me. You can't afford to waltz that kind of comment into this room. Well, I did. Oh, I did. Yeah, I think, yeah, Grey Knights just needs... They don't need Primarisifying, they just need upscaling. They can just a bit... Like, their style is so iconic and cool, they just need to be modernized. That's it. That's all they need. Like, compare the new Nightbringer to the old Nightbringer. That is... The stuff they can do now compared to back then, it's incredible. So yeah, no, I'm sure they will. But I think Grey Knights are well loved, where it would not be a problem. Yeah, new scale, new poses. That's basically it. They don't even. Yeah, they just need to reposter. Really, all they need. These mod lines are annoying, but the thing is, these mod lines, like, they're still visible, but they are flat. So they... Like, these are kind of the annoying ones that kind of go like, there's no like real fixed place for them, but they kind of go there. Kind of a fixed place. I mean, how can you not like this? Not only is it a fucking siege drill, it's a drill with a fucking melter at the end of it. So you punch it and then just go blah. Tell you what, that would make Assault Centurions OP. You make their weapons pistols. So they can just punch and blat, which is the technical term, I believe, used in the military. The old punch and blat. Trust me, I'm the streamer, and therefore whatever I say is gospel in this house. I decided that my second army will be Craftworld Elder. Best Western will be third, since I can trickle it down with demons. Hell yeah. We love trickle down demonomics. Bad at using it. Struggling with all pieces. Play it better. That is the proper way to put two pieces together. You go. Bleh. That's because I'm doing it over here out of camera. The only way you know that I'm actually doing anything is by making stupid. Make one drill and hit onto the base. What do you see most Orcs players do? Cromp. I see most Orc players go, whoa, and then run in. The serious answer, Gaz is pretty... I haven't played against many orcs. Gaz is a thing that's quite scary. I think Warhorde is the everyone just uses. This is good. What even bad at stuff? Probably. I think interesting happens. Scream and I'll rewind. Okay, we need something really boring to happen that Cassie isn't paying attention to you, and then we can just make a big deal of it. So in like 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna say something mundane, and I'm gonna say, "Okay, chat, react," and then you're all gonna go crazy in chat. But positive or negative, I don't care. And then we can confuse people who are half paying attention. But it's on well supposed to juice us? Hell yeah. Yeah, this is the kind of the instruction I don't like here. Is that it tells you to glue that bit to there, then stick the whole thing on, but the problem is this arm, with the way that this bit is there, is so nicely positioned that it makes that connection to there, like, consistent. It's a lot easier to do it that way, I find. So... look at that thing I just said. Kind of do it like both at the same time. Kind of just places in pretty consistently. But also can sometimes like not be quite right there, or slightly off there. But normally it's not too bad. But it is the trickiest part of the build, I think. The las cannons I think are worse because they're so long. But yeah, we have one with one arm. 1 out of 6 arms are done. You know all the Lord Centurions? No, they're cool. Council is pleased with your progress. Thank you, Council. Glad the Council is pleased. I'm here to make sure that the Council is not displeased. I've built a couple of marine kits. Much more complicated than demons. Yeah, it's the guns that are mostly the problem. I ask, do you think if Centurions have jetpacks, they're too heavy to fly? The main move is just drop kicking. I mean, that makes sense. Rather than being like a proper jetpack, it's just like a burst that lets them leap into the air and just jump on people. I that I worry I got into 40k at the bad time of the 11th edition coming. I worry that they may move back to wargear prices, magnetize everything. No, I don't think so. And even if they do go back to wargear prices, don't worry about WYSIWYG. It really is not a problem. Like, if you have all the special weapons, just go, there's no special weapon. Main thing is you just have to be consistent. So what you can do is, like, swap in and out certain models. But, like, for example, if you're Guard, for example, you've got all the special weapons on all your Krieg, and then suddenly you want them all to be without any special weapons, you just go, none of them have special weapons. Done. It's hard to go the other way. To go, okay, this guy, all of them have las guns, except this guy with a las gun is actually a melter gun, this guy with a las gun is actually a plasma gun. That's more difficult, and that's kind of annoying. Have you counted a large number of obliterators? Yes, I have, and I beat them both times. Take that. But don't worry about whatever. I think you'll be able to get around it. It's not too bad. Not too much of a problem. That lets me ramble whilst building a BA combat trail? Hell yeah. Real Centurion gameplay. Does this start back somewhere? Yeah. Yeah, I think with sisters, I think it'll be fine. What's the worst thing for Centurions to face in your experience? Basically, anything with damage 4 is nasty. Doomsday arcs are particularly strong because they can outrange you as well. So one of the thing with Centurions that they do really well is they obviously come on edge, get a line of sight and kill something, but a Doomsday arc can just come at the other end of that line of sight, out of your range, and delete you. So Doomsday arcs are particularly nasty. Like my first game on Thursday, trying to finish my Spaceballs Dread on time? Hell yeah. Good luck. Well. Repent my sins? Oh no, what I've sinned. What have I done? What sins have I done? Probably loads. Am I sinning right now? Probably. You can't see what my hands are doing when they're off screen. They might be sinning. Devil makes work for idle hands, as they say. Just to be clear, I'm not wanking off. Everyone quick react so that you confuse Cassie with that statement. Quick, everyone go, oh, what the fuck? Whoa, what? A mega lol. Quick, quick, quick. Go, 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 go. Spam chat. Go, go, go. Quick, quick, quick. Otherwise the bit doesn't work. If the bit doesn't work, it's your fault, chat. Go, quick, go. Go, what? Huh? What? There you go. Whoa. Oh, whoa. That is, yeah, I'm sorry I said that. Alright, Cassie, something crazy happened. You have to rewind. There you go. All that just to annoy one person. Bro, too much. Cancel him right away. Damn. All his banner stuff cancelled on stream for joking about the fact he was wanking. He's not the wholesome virgin we thought he was. All his banner stuff actually fucks. What the fuck am I? We're both doing. All his banner stuff calls out all of his viewers who are currently wanking. If you are currently wanking, by the way, whether you're watching the stream or watching this as the VOD, weird, but all right. Would it be flattering? Is that flattering? Oh yeah, I love Paul about stuff. I wank to his streams. Is that a flattering thing to say? Or is it the Centurions? If it's the Centurions, I understand. Like, yeah, that makes sense. He's explaining wanking, I'm not British. Masturbating. It's a stick man thing. I got a case that won't build us. Hey buddy, Logic, how's it going? You've joined the stream at a weird time. We're at that point where we get like 3 hours into a stream where I've run out of actual important topics to go and just go, you know what? Let's talk about something ridiculous. Yeah, I guess the question is yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm flattered. I don't want to know, but I guess I'm flattered. That doesn't mean I'm encouraging. No, don't. That's not a challenge. That's the next paint jam. The next paint jam theme is have a what? No. There's a point where a joke goes too far. I'm in a public library. Keep it. What? I'm in a library. Ah, shit. Leo Smicker, thank you for the 11 months. Thank you very much. This is the wrong time.
Hello. Just painting blood ravens but going Raven Guard and yes 6 Centurions.
Hell yes. Yeah, thank you for membership. This was the wrong time to open stream work. Hey! Hey everyone, this guy's watching YouTube at work and not using his headphones. I hope you're not in a important meeting. Everyone look at this guy. He might be having a wank. Oh, no. Unless you work from home, in which case that joke doesn't work. But I hope anyone who's listening who's not listening with their headphones in a public place is thoroughly embarrassed. I'm the manager. I mean, if you're at work listening to this and you've got your headphones on, that's fine. Like I, had stuff in the background at work as well. But it's the fact if you got them on speakers, then it's on you if I say something weird that everyone's going to look at you for. I can say that from my Labrador puppy. I'm so sorry. But also, I never said that the stream was, family friendly. So really, how could you, as the owner of the Labrador puppy, subject them to such crass content like this? This is a parenting problem. I hear you called for an orc. It was a very specific kind of orc that we were calling for earlier. But hello, I'm glad you're here. Thank God you're here. Right, is that next to me and heard all that? Hey! Hey, this person's aunt! Hope you're having a good day. The fact they're just funny looks for employees. The armor's definitely themed. Just my jump pack intercessors are my Vanguard vets are themed. Everything else has its own theme. Otherwise, I would have already run out by now of models because there's only really 30 or 40, I guess, if you use GX. I know there's others from like the Game Boy the GBA games and the DS games, but I don't know them. Well, can I spit a Gundam for the paint jam? I mean, if I do the next paint jam, if it fixes the theme, you can do whatever you want, yeah. The whole point of the paint jam is that you can, as long as you can justify the theme, you can do whatever. Crass content is why I'm here. Damn, maybe I should be getting the big titty anime. How? I guess here's the question. How? If I were to become big titty anime VTuber and join those ranks, how big are we talking? To you? What's the vibe? Do I come off as someone with honking Hondas, or am I more of a, do I not come off as that well endowed? I don't know. What are your thoughts? That is the topic of discussion today. I feel like, because normally with the Thursday streams I never really get past like 2 hours of streaming. I feel like there's as the port is bad at stuff like, how in Halo AI like Cortana has is it rampancy? I feel like every port is bad at stuff stream has a rampancy. Like after about 3 hours, or as we approach 3 hours and beyond, it goes just mental. I just become completely unhinged at this point. So I'm like, the viewers that are here have been here for a while. It's time to just go completely unhinged. Massive, as big as your head, comically large, small tit energy. I wonder why. Biggest honkers. All the stack in the back and business over. All right, well, there you go. D for Centurion. I guess that's the thing. It's got to be like, it's Centurion proportions, right? That's the short stack in action. So just Centurion proportions seems like it's the right way to go. Yeah. Big titty anime girl, but both tits. Both tits are my current avatar size. That would be horrifying. I was going to have it like literally this head and then a really detailed body. Oh, that'd be so dumb. Oh, I kind of love the idea. And then we can get in contact with the what's the flask? What's the titty flask? Gamer subs. And that's how you become a real internet sensation. Once you have a gamer subs up, then you're good. Please tell me an airbrush cleaner. How far identical as tomato ultra thin, much cheaper. That's actually airbrush cleaner is the same as. Ooh, that's interesting. Also, I guess I have to do this because, at some point, if a plan of having stream highlights edited, at some point I've got to make the streams exciting. was only like 20 minutes behind. Welcome back to the future. Does Centurion have pockets? I guess so. You can fit stuff in its pockets. Any tips for playing against Tau? Specifically, no, because I've never actually played against Tau. It's one of the few armies I've never played against. I have no idea how to play against. I assume don't get shot is a good start. But that's fairly obvious. I mean, it's not exactly like bad advice. Don't get shot. It works. Probably not very useful advice. Any of the armies you've never played? Tau, Emperor's Children, and Drukhari, actually. I've never played against Drukhari. Someone call Atric, we need the Porter's Valor Supposers. Hey, Bricky! Yeah, because they do those, like, yeah, the pin-ups, don't they? If you want one for April Fools, I've got an idea. I don't know, Brick asleep. Early in it. Oh. I could message him, but I don't really want to message him out of the blue. Be like, hey, Bricky. We've only spoken like one thing in the past like 3 months. By the way, I've got an idea. Do you want to, for an April Fool's gag, make us pin up Centurion with my stupid face on it, and sell nothing? You know. Easy to pop around. Oh yeah, I've been to tournaments where there's been a lot of Emperor's Children's plays, but I've never. It's just not happened yet. I mean, I've been to a lot of places with Drukhari and Tau. It's just luck. Always making stuff streams are my favorite podcast when I'm driving. Hell yeah. We love digestible content on the house. And if you want to watch these, if you don't watch them live, I'm just because the algorithm is a bit screwy with them, I am putting them on my VOD channel. And I've cut the intro out so you don't have to wait like get through 3 minutes. So if that helps, you can do that. If it doesn't help, and actually it's even worse for you, then I'm sorry, but just sacrifices had to be made, and your personal enjoyment was the sacrifice that I made in this. So I apologize. You think Mordaka should go to its pre-nerf version? No. Mordaka pre-nerf was horrendous. But I think it was a mix of things. Was I think the problem. Because it wasn't just obviously the sustained hits 2 was nasty as hell anyway, but the fact that you could always give something war every turn was just insane. Honestly, I think if you just add everything is hazardous to that, like you go pre-nerf and then just add all weapons are hazardous, you have a better, more balanced thing. Infinite Centurions or never pay tax. I'd rather never pay tax because it'd be way easier. Start hitting the metal box again to make a VTuber model for myself. Yeah, that's how. I didn't make this one. That's how I understand it works. You just punch your computer over and over again, and just scream ah, and then a VTuber model pops out. Would you say VOD Paul is better than Live Paul? If you do VOD Paul. I mean, I guess that's the thing. If Live Paul isn't there, VOD Paul works fine, but you can't really talk to VOD Paul. Like, he can't answer your questions. But also, VOD Paul will be there for... Oh, I won't say forever, but VOD Paul will be there when you want to... When you want VOD Paul. And Live Paul won't always be there. Because Live Paul... If Live Paul was always there, my life would be the worst... the worst thing in the world, because there is no world where I would enjoy streaming my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like it's the fucking Truman Show. So that's really up to you. Yeah, it's like, you know, It's like a substitution in a recipe. It's like, if you can't get, you know, fresh, free-range lemongrass, then, you know, spit is fine. I don't know how streamers do 8+ hour streams. I legitimately, I think my longest stream has actually been that long because it was the it was when I did Magnus. It was the charity stream, and that went on for 9 hours, and I was knackered by the end of that. And if after 3 hours I just go completely fucking insane, I don't know what would happen. Like, I've done quite long streams before. I don't know what would happen if we got to like 6 hours. If I'm talking about the shit I'm talking about at 3 hours, what the hell are we going to talk about in 3 more hours? Yeah, and for multiple days a week as well. Like, someone mentioned Iron Mouse before. Like, Iron Mouse streams like, you know, 8-10 hours a day or some shit. Like, Jesus Christ. Good on him. Worst thing in the world, the Dark Elder kidnap Paul and just follow him around with the camera all day, every day. I feel like the Dark Elder will be sick of me by the end of it. It's like, oh god, we've gone too far this time. This guy won't shut the fuck up. What do you mean he knows? What do you mean he's learning to ballroom dance? Where the fuck did that come from? Oh god, here we go. Who started him talking about F-Zero X? God damn it. No, Paul, we don't want to play more Gaslands with you. Right, that's it. Send him out of Comorot. Send him back. Who found him? We don't even want to kill him because his spirit might do something. We don't even want that. Just get him out of here. Get him out of here before he ruins the vibe. I guess that's how you counter Drukhari, is you just be so fucking annoying to be around that they don't want you there. They don't even want to kill you because it's like, oh my god. It's just the worst. I don't even know how I'd do like a street, like a subathon or whatever. Obviously, is a way of getting, you know, squeezing you for all your worth by forcing you to give me money for me to continue to do this. But I don't know what I'd do for that long. Like, god. A 24-hour stream where you stream non-stop for a day doing. I mean, to be fair, I could do like a 24-hour like. I've got like you know, the Seraphon Spearhead, right? I could do like a 24-hour. But the thing is, I want to sleep at some point. I feel like when you do like a 24-hour challenge, here's I think the problem with 24-hour challenges. Specifically, this is specific to Warhammer, really. Is the hardest part of that is the like when you've like done most of the painting, you're doing like the detail. Like at the end, like building the model isn't too bad. Like painting like the base coats isn't too bad. Getting another arm on the Centurions isn't too bad. But getting to the painting is the hard bit. And if you're doing a 24-hour challenge, it means at the end you're tired, and that would just be annoying. I'd rather, if I were to do a 24-hour challenge, I'd rather build it and try and time it so I build it all and then go to sleep and then wake up and do all the painting. Obviously, that takes out 8 hours of your 24, right? So I just got into Warhammer. You started Pokemon on my YouTube, and I must say I love your content. You're hilarious and learning a lot about the table. Hell yeah! Thank you for joining. He also sits at other YouTubers so he can take a nap. You think Drukhari would like brain rot? I think they would like. I'll tell you what Drukhari would do is they would find your brain rot and then treat it like, you know how like when your parents or like, you know, the boomers or the, you know, corporations try to get involved with like, you know, the current zeitgeist and do it really cringily. That's what Drukhari would do, but you couldn't leave. What's the coolest vehicle in your opinion? Mind the kill rig? Probably the Storm. So I really like a Wave Serpent. I really like a Wave Serpent. 2 hours of building, 4 hours of gaming, 2 hours of painting, another few of gaming. If we can. Yeah. Loith, thank you for following over on Twitch. Cool. Go finish this guy off. He's got 2 arms. He just needs shoulders and a head. I don't actually need to give him the special one. I can just give him a regular head. Because these guys and the next 3 I'm going to make after this guy, they will be going through a squad that already has a sergeant. Lloyd, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Thank you very much. I know the Muffin Man. And the Muffin Man. Yes, I know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane. when I saw that as a kid in the cinema, because I am actually that old to have gone to see Shrek in the cinema, I had to move seats away from my mum because that Muffin Man scene made her cry with laughter so much that people were like turning, and obviously I was like 10 or something, so it was embarrassing. So I had to move seats. I didn't have to, but I did. But she was in absolute fucking hysterics. She could not handle the Muffin Man scene from Shrek 1. It was like, looking back at it was very funny. My god, she was in absolute tears. And because obviously as a kid that joke wasn't as funny as some of the other jokes in Shrek for me, but that one absolutely got. Going to an AOS event, there's a random doubles. Everyone is bringing city lists. Make a city 1k list with the fewest models possible. I guess Nagash. It's a good scene. Like, because Brandon, they're £5 Amazon ones, yeah. They came in the same set as the knife, to be honest. I always have big dents when I cut stuff. I usually try and cut a bit above the gate, and then you just clean it up. How many Centurions have built so far? This will be... So I've got 18. I did 6 Saturn 9s, which will count. And then this is going to be 21 normal Centurions, and then 27 for the actual... What's the progress? The progress is... We're almost done with 1. We're almost there. I play Town, I must admit I love the Ghost Kill. Ghost Kill seems... Ghost Kill seems... I've never played against one, but they seem horrible, because you get two damage blanks, and it's lone op. Like, the Ghost Kill seems busted, man. But still cool. I do like it. Broken 2 Slan is not far off, yeah. You also have Centurions build? Hell yeah. We love Centurions in this house. Someone's bringing Kroken 3 Engines of the Gods. Yeah, I feel like someone should just bring Nagash. And just be like, done. Isn't he like 870 or something? I guess, what's the other guy? Ragnos, is that it? He's quite a lot. Or Archaon? You don't need to spam. You don't need to spam over and over again. I saw the message. Said the word goblin. You don't need to say it 3 times. Or 4 times now. Say it one more time, I will time you out. Okay, well that was easy. Even though you wouldn't have been able to actually respond to this. So we'll put that time out for 5. Chill. Only I may say goblin over. That's the rule. That's the rule! Cool. Head on. I don't like it when you time someone out, it deletes all their messages. Bit silly. Now no one knows what it was timed out for. It's for the bet. Now everyone's saying... Sorry, you have been banned, so everyone else can say goblin, but you can only all say it once. So if anyone says goblin twice, I'm timing you out for 5 minutes as well. Everyone gets to say goblin once. After that, and no trying to get around it by saying goblin in a different way. You get 1 each. If you go like goblin then gorblin or something, then that doesn't count. All right, now I've got to try and catch people who do it twice. If I had mods, this would be way easier. Cassie refuses. Good. Said it twice. Anyone said it twice? I could finish this model. Instead, I'm literally like I'm like a gunslinger. I've got my gun like ready to draw. If I see anyone say it twice. Oh, I think I saw one. Hang on. Second, I see that. Yeah, Shamrock, you said goblin thrice, and then you said Gretchen. That's trying to circumnavigate it. Where are you? Oh, I've lost you now. There you are, you little punk. I'll only put you in timeout for 10 seconds. Just to show I'm serious about it. And you, mech boy. You're trying to get away with different types of goblin. Timeout for 10 seconds. Get out of here. Yeah, Connor, I see you. That's twice. Get out of here. Putting timeout for 10 seconds. Paul's view. Paul is banner stuff. Hates goblins. That's not true. Goblins are short stacks and therefore are cool. Yeah, it's over. We've gone beyond the 3 hour 15-minute mark. Now I'm at the point where I'm just gonna like. All I need to do is put 2 shoulders on and put him on this, and I'm done with this one. But instead, I'm watching chat like a hawk. See what I'm saying, Goblin? It was a joke from previous. So someone kept spamming it, so I timed them out, and then everyone started wanting to say it. So I let everyone say it once. But I said if you say it twice, you get timed out. So I timed people out, saying it more than once. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the bit. That was indeed this stream. That was one of the bits of the stream. I don't know. It was 5 minutes, but it was less than 5 minutes ago. That's how quickly that descended. Within less than 5 minutes, we just had an absolute goblin tirade. So you shouldn't say goblin again, right? Nah, it's fine. I think as long as you don't say just the word goblin, right? Feet on the base. And that is one Centurion, which I won't pick up and show you because still being glued to the base. If I pick it up, it will just fall. That's the man goblin, Greco. I mean, you said it. I don't really know what it means. What's a man goblin? Why don't you do special bases with cork and stuff? Because I'm inherently lazy. And that's not how I do my bases in this army. I just do, I use basing material and then paint over it in a certain way. So it's just for consistency. A single tear will fall down my cheek. You can't just say that and not tell us what it means. I don't know if this is a good impression of that character. Probably not. Wondering how you should use them? It depends what you need them for. If you need range damage, devastators, you need melee damage. Ult. It's good for there you go. I want to be out of timeout? Well, there you are. You are out of timeout. Thank you for providing us with that distraction. Don't spam, please. How many Centurions abilities you got? A lot, actually. I guess I've got 9 of them now. Ooh, a lot. Big Bear, thank you for the £2.
Rose emoji, hi, waving hand emoji, rose emoji.
Hello. I enjoy the I enjoy it when the TTS is very slow. Like rose emoji. Very silly. Goblin merch when. I guess that'll be the next bit of merch. Oh yeah, I'll make a plush and there'll be a Poised About Stuff plush and then just like a random can your Vita model do a flip? there is a way to like rotate.
Ayo.
Hey, wait! Thank you for the £2. Athanase? There we go. What? Very slowly. And I don't think yeah, because I'm doing it from the corner, it's not quite working. What? Nice. Reset that to 0, so I don't get confused there. There you go. Porter's Ballot Stuff, Short Stack Goblin. We need a name for the Porter's Ballot Stuff, Short Stack Goblin. I feel like that's a character now. Just tripping people saying that 2k points of any faction, it doesn't make sense. What if it's just expensive points? Should be a better way to scale an army other than points? Not quite sure I understand the question. There should be a better way to scale the army than the points. Don't quite understand the question. Yeah, unfortunately, it's cut my legs off. I don't wear trousers normally anyway. You're a gnome. You're a gnoblin. Oh no. Paulette. Well, that's a bit on the nose. If you were given real life Centurion armor, what would you do? Nothing good, I'm sure. Can my meat tuber do a flip? No. I used to be able to do a kip up, but it's been a while since I've been able to do that. I did learn to backflip on a trampoline, but I tried, but I can't do them anymore because I was practicing it, and I did one, and it went badly. I almost landed on my neck, and since then I didn't want to do it. But then I tried doing one into a foam pit, like just from standing, and I accidentally did an actual just straight up backflip from standing. Because I did a backflip, landed on my feet on the same. I was like standing on the edge of like the foam pit. I jumped, did a backflip, and landed on the same edge on my feet, and that scared the shit out of me. And I then fell backwards, and I was like, I'm never doing that again, because apparently my brain can't do it anymore. It just panics. The band Gobbo, Lynn, Jerry. All Jorkanet confirmed. Schmoobler. All right, everyone. That's I do have to head off. But before I go, my homework to all of you. I don't know why this is homework. Design the Paula's Ballot Stuff Goblin Girl mascot. There you go. That's your homework. No, fair. Don't do it. That's fine. Thank you very much for watching. I don't think anyone is streaming on YouTube. I think Millwell's going to be live in like 20 minutes. Twitch. Might as well raid someone. Let's raid. I don't know. Actually, never very good at raiding. Don't forget to copyright singing super later. True. Very true. Alright. Thanks everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Hope you had a good day. If you missed this stream, go watch it on the VOD channel, which it should be up in like a day. Alright. Thanks everyone. I'll catch you all later. Have a good one. How do I end stream? Bye.